Your ritual! Now it's too late! Didn't like that guy. Now it's too late! Don't tell explain. Now it's too late! So save your breath, I get it! Now it's too late! Still rolling! Still rolling! Still rolling! I'm moving! Still moving! Still rolling! Still rolling! I'm moving! Out! The plans, the hates, and the fashion, they distribute all the rations, causing commotion, collapsing. That line has been gone past the tipping point. The mass is dead, it's in the iceberg. Hitting dismiss as class rate mass. Atheism to make the system balance. Political imbalance will make the big rapids. Fall away into this tragedy. Still moving, still rolling, still rolling. I'm moving, still moving, still rolling, still rolling. I'm moving. There's no reason after the lines have been blackened and fade away. There's no return after the lines. Yeah, they are blackened and fade away into nothing. Gone far away into this tragedy. And nothing new. They break, they take, they break. Black and blue blood, 2,000 years removed from a flood, hasn't brought us any closer to leading with love. Let alone the municipalities, the crooked judgments against our people, playing people as pawns for the plaintiffs, and it goes just like this. And it goes just like this. And it goes just like that. Okay, now, take the pain in their life. I know. I know. May I close up? I'll break the same. I'll take random
Please leave a message after the tone.
If you still got a problem for me, come get some, because I'm in a bad mood. And if you would like to confront your issues for once, man to man, eye to eye, then feel free to come near me, because I'm a bad, bad man.
Hey, what's going on? It's Friday. What's happening, folks? You know what it means, what it is. Do me a favor, check out Lowbrow Saints. They are about to open very soon. They're waiting for the inspection to come through their spot. I spoke with Jason today, so please stay tuned. Lowbrow Saints will be opening up their brand new spot real soon. I appreciate your guys' patience with that. Also, do me a favor, if you're looking for some fancy guitars, the Shred Den is right down the street from me, right down the hallway, actually, Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., 9100 85th Avenue. God damn, I need glasses. 85th Avenue North, Suite 100, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, 763-350-2191. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or www.theshredden.net. If you're looking to get some design work, check out Narwhal Design Solutions. Justin Boney from, Den of Thieves and Simothwa, bass player extraordinaire and fantastic artist, man. If you guys are looking for some design work, Justin Boney's your guy. Narwhal Design Solutions, Facebook, Instagram, the World Wide Web at Narwhal Design Solutions. Justin Boney at gmail.com. Hit him up if you guys are looking for some cool artwork. I've got the guys from Fragged Out in the house. What's going on, fellas? How's it going?
Hello.
What's up? I hit the wrong button there. No, you guys are all on camera here. Why don't we go around the table? Tell me who you are and what you do in the band. Yeah, no pressure at all. Go ahead. Who's starting?
What up, everybody? I am Sam. I play drums.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm Keith. I play bass.
Hi, Keith. Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, no problem, dude.
I'm Eric. Play guitar.
Nice.
I'm the other Eric, and I'm vocals.
Double Eric's in the group. What's happening, fellas? How's it going? Fucking thanks for joining us. I appreciate it very much.
We're in the process of getting Sam and Keith names changed to Eric, so we can be the four Erics.
Welcome. We're the four Erics.
I wouldn't mind.
It's like the Spider-Man meme. Like who?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Let me see here. What song do we hear here first? No Hope off of what is it? The EP Burn is what it is.
Yes.
Now you guys, how long ago did you just release this one? Not that long ago.
That was released on 12/12. We did a double release show that day. We played Can, and then we ran over to Clash Drums.
How'd that go?
It was a little hectic. I think it was a lot of fun, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was a fun time.
Watch Home Alone when they're running in the airport. That's exactly like what happened.
Everybody's panicking.
Can one land. We started off the show at 7, did like a half-hour set, right?
Yeah.
And then we were just like, everyone's like, good job. He's like, I wish I could talk a little longer, but we gotta go. You
gotta go. Yeah, meet us at the next place. We'll talk over there.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's awesome. When was that show? When were those two shows? That was just recently, right? Like
that was on the release day. That was 12/12. Actually, I felt kind of bad when we had to run over there because our friends in Ekphasis, it was their last time playing bass and drums. That's Zach and Will. So I didn't get to see their last show, but we've always been big supporters of them and have made it out to quite a few of their shows.
Love those guys. So
yeah, what made them stop playing?
I personally don't know. I've got my theories,
sure,
but I try to stay out of that.
Yeah. Gotcha. So we played No Hope. Can you tell me about the song? What's the song about? What's the premise behind it?
So No Hope. I wrote that back during George Floyd riots that were going on.
Yeah.
Sam and I were actually in a band called Malta Cardinals at the time with Dusty from Sledge and Joey from Courier. Joey and I actually wrote that originally, and then we added Sam to drums, and just wanted to come up with like real poignant lyrics at that time.
Sure. And
try to harness a lot of the feelings that were going around in people's heads.
Yeah. It's a whole lot at that time, and there's a whole lot of that sentiment going around right now. What a horrible situation going on here in the Twin Cities the last couple days, man. I don't know if you guys want to talk about that or anything like that. We don't have to go too far into it, but it's one of those things that regardless of what aspect of life you're in the Twin Cities, we're pretty tight knit here. You know what I mean?
Yes,
like it affects us quite a lot, and
definitely.
You know, friends, family, everybody around us. I've seen probably 4 or 5 people that I know get arrested on TV, and you know, people that I care about. Hey, you know what I mean? Like. You checking on your homies in Minneapolis, you know what I mean, and it turns into a political war on Facebook. You know what I mean? It gets crazy right now. I hope you know, from my own personal standpoint and from the podcast standpoint, that everybody just takes care of themselves and stays safe and out of trouble, man. I'm sure, you know, it's
love, man.
Yeah, for sure. You gotta, you know what I mean? The world's filled with too much hate right now anyways, man, regardless where you stand politically, in my opinion, you know what I mean?
I agree.
You gotta spread love and spread all that joy, no matter what anyone's going through.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, man, be there for each other, man. 'cause
Hard enough
it's-
as it is, it's just, you gotta, it's easier said than done, but like social media is like a different animal.
Oh,
but
yeah.
like in person, eye to eye, in the flesh, just, it doesn't matter who they are, you gotta have respect, you know?
Right.
So
Right.
just gotta treat them how you want to be treated,
Absolutely, man. That's
Parent-
how it should be.
Parents taught us at a young age about
Yeah.
that, it's got
At least the good ones anyway did.
right, exactly.
Thank you, Mom.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Thanks to my moms too for that shit, because I know I could have been, a whole lot of trouble. Let me see here. Now I like to start off by asking kind of musical history. What was going on in the house? What was mom and dad listening to? What were brothers and sisters listening to? And then what pushed you towards the path of heaviness? Like what sent you on the way? Anybody can
I
start.
was actually woke up to classical music every morning. I woke up from school, and my mom would always put on just the classical channel on the radio. And
Yeah.
I the first thing I do is wake up and I hear it, classical music. Like wake up, I hear it through just the whole house. We had speakers throughout the whole house. So I'm brushing my teeth, I'm hearing Beethoven.
Right.
Going to the bathroom, I'm hearing Mozart.
Right. Yeah.
I'm eating breakfast, and I'm hearing Chopin. And that pretty much got me into the sense of listening to different genres of music, because I started off as more of a classical rock drummer. My dad, he taught a lot too. He taught music too. So he influenced me a lot as a young kid.
Did he play?
He played drums, guitar, and
Nice.
he did more of like backup vocals, not really like a lead,
Yeah.
I would say. And him and my mom would just take me to concerts all the time. I remember my first concert was actually Kid Rock at the State Fair.
Wow.
And I fell asleep during like the whole set. That's I forget. So I remember the first song, and then I just passed out throughout the whole thing. But and then I
So
was
many
going through-
adults do that to this day,
Yeah,
Kid Rock.
yeah. Luckily, I got to see Kid Rock just rocking out on stage. I'm like, oh, cool, there he is, and go to sleep.
It's like, you're at the same show? No way, where were you? Oh, I was
Yeah.
falling asleep.
Yeah.
I think we all had that CD.
But
But
as
it's crazy though, man. You know what I mean? As a kid, if you have music in the background and your folks are playing it, you can fall asleep to it.
no, yeah,
You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
it's a possible thing. Nowadays, man, I mean, even my daughter with my granddaughter, like there's no sound in the house when people are sleeping. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I remember being a kid, the same thing. Music was always through the house.
Always, no matter what, no matter if it's like the house couldn't be like pitch quiet. It always something had to be playing, no matter what. It was jazz, funk, rock, any type of genre of music. It had to be playing at our
That's
house.
awesome.
So, my brother plays all types of instruments. He plays wood instruments, brass instruments, percussion. That's pretty much started off at a young age for both of us. And then from where I wanted to start joining bands was pretty much when I got to high school and I started doing marching band.
Yeah.
And more in high school music stuff too, like, band class or like symphonic band, jazz band, orchestra.
Yeah.
But then I heard a band play at a pep fest one time, and I thought that was pretty cool. And I said, you know what, I kind of want to be in
Just
a
some
band.
local cats.
Oh yeah, just local cats just playing at a pep fest. And I'm like, this is pretty cool. I kind of
Yeah.
want to do this.
Yeah.
And then it's funny enough, before this band, I was in a band with Guitar Eric, long time ago
Yeah.
in high school. And we played shows for like a good 2 years.
Yeah.
Good run. And then
What's the name of that project?
that was Aimless Theory.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
That was
So-
that was like a decade. Like the duration of that band was like decades long.
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Well, there was parts for a few years. Sam was part of it, and then later on came back to it.
Yeah.
And then
Were you doing covers or were you doing your own
we're
stuff
doing
or a mix
original.
of mix
We're
of
doing
both?
original music.
Doing our stuff.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
It was mostly based off of Linkin Park.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, but we didn't have like the turntables. To
Yeah,
do
yeah.
it, So
Yeah, but I mean, you're making your own. You're
Yeah.
finding your own path. That's cool. That's
Yeah.
a lot of people start out playing covers, and that's all they're doing. They just focus on that to get their chops up, and then they start piecing it together. You know what I mean? So, having those ideas right away is really awesome, man. You know, early.
One member from that band, Josh Cedar, he learned audio production
Sure.
at Henneman Sackett Eden Prairie,
Nice.
and was like self-producing, like recording those songs at the time.
Yeah.
And he also did like samples from our first EP and
Yeah.
the newest EP that just came out too.
Very cool. Very cool. So you keeping them in the loop too. That's
Yes,
fantastic,
yes,
man.
yes.
Always keep those guys in your pocket. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like, hey, dude, I know you got that sweet new studio and all that gear. You know?
He's in Colorado.
Come
and
to
I
me.
still love that dude.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome, man. Shout out to Kat, man. That's really cool, man. How about you, sir? What was yours?
I remember my 5th birthday. My mom brought me to Sam Goody, and she said, "Pick out whatever you want."
Yeah.
I was before that burning through the Thriller record she had in the garage.
Yeah.
And of course, that's the tape I picked out. So I was dancing to Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
it is so
literally.
Yeah.
It's so
that
iconic.
that started everything.
Yeah.
And then same thing. I found a tape at a garage sale. It was Seventh Son of a Seventh Son.
Yeah.
By Iron Maiden. And
Little Maiden,
that
dude.
changed
Hell yeah.
my life in like 5th or 6th grade, maybe. And from there on,
What album was it?
I think it's called Seventh Son of a Seventh
Yeah.
Son.
Oh, Seventh
Well,
Son.
what is it? No, that's
Maybe I'm wrong.
Endless. No, what? Damn it, I can't think of. Now I'm gonna get my metal card stolen from me.
Dude,
Dude, you don't know the Iron
that's
Maiden
on,
album?
That's on me.
Someone watching it screaming.
That's the chorus. But yeah, that album really propelled me into like metal. I got into like Deicide and like some other like hardcore death metal bands. Like
Somewhere
Cannibal
in Time.
Corpse.
That's what that one was. I'm sorry.
Somewhere in Time.
Yeah, Somewhere in Time. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I think. Would you say Seventh Son of a Seventh Son? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm fucking way off, dude. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
I
it's
didn't
all
mean-
good.
I didn't mean to.
But yeah,
interrupt you.
of course I branched out into like new metal and all sorts of different types of metal. But right now I really love like deathcore and like death metal.
Yeah.
That's primarily like my
What you're
favorite
listening
stuff
to?
listen to.
Yeah.
My son got me in Peeling Flesh, and that's like my jam right now.
That's crazy.
Just
man. How old's your kid?
stupid loud snare drums. And, he's 15.
That's
Yeah,
crazy,
and
dude.
He plays drums, and he's pretty awesome, dude.
Is it crazy that like your kids are influencing what you're listening to? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my daughter does the same thing. Hey, Dad, have you ever heard this? When I try to do it to her, she's like, oh, I don't want to hear it. Let me find it on my own. She refuses to listen to what I'm doing, you know. But when you're in the car and they hear something, they'll do that. I'll look over and I'll see her go and put it in her pocket. I know, and then I'll walk past her room and one of the jams will pop up like, I got you. I got
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, he discovered Kiss kind of almost accidentally when he was really young, and it like every day was jamming Kiss songs and playing like my guitars in the house and drumming along to like the E-kit that was in his bedroom. But
Yeah.
he's pretty much self-taught.
You're
and
making one
he's
of them.
awesome.
That's what you're doing, dude. Seriously,
Sam could teach him some
love
good
it.
fundamentals, but he's really excelled in the last
that's fantastic.
short amount
dude.
of time. But yeah, every time he plays
Did he
the
do the
kid.
face paint and all that too?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I got
nice.
pictures on my
That's
phone of him
awesome,
with,
dude.
with the full gene and
That was one of my very first bands, man. A friend of mine and I saw him in 1979, dude.
oh hell yeah,
so
that's awesome.
That's pretty crazy.
That's some prime time.
That's a prime
Yeah,
time.
dude, that's disco Kiss back then. You know what I mean? I don't remember the show very much. My buddy remembers it a lot more than I did, but I remember when after they got rid of the makeup and then came back. You know, in the 90s, I saw him at the Civic Center. I was working at a head shop down the street.
Okay.
And two guys walk in and they got, you know, polo shirts on that got embroidered Kiss things on there. And I'm stoned. Hey, man, cool shirts, man. You know, those guys are playing down the They're like, yeah, I'm the light guy. He's the sound guy. You know, I'm like, whoa. And they're looking at these, you know, these big ass bongs and shit, or hookah pipes. And they're like, hey, we're going to be cruising around. We're looking for a piece. So we start talking, ended up getting 4 backstage passes and four tickets. And just in the trade of a hookah bong, I went upstairs to my manager and I'm like, hey, there's 2 guys from Kiss out there. What are you talking about? And I'm like, they want to make a deal. Well, whatever you get, I want half. I said, well, what would you guys give me for this? Well, how much is it? It's $250, you know? It's probably like $100, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, I will do this for you. It was one of the
That's
most
incredible.
amazing experiences ever. So I walk in, right? you go to the sound stage, or, the soundboard, light board, whatever, right in the center of the whole stadium. Dude's going like this, So I walk over and he's like, I get to the edge where he is. He's like, no, around here, come in here. Just show him your pass. So I show him my pass. I go there. Paul Stanley flies across the people. He's literally like from here to that table away with the smash mirrored guitar and plays Love Gun right in front of me, dude. I just was like, as a kid, shitting my pants.
It was so awesome.
Yeah.
He got to see that a couple times. So
Did he?
I'm proud of that.
Dude, that's so cool, man. Again, you're making that's the best thing as a parent, man. Passing the love of this lifestyle along, man. And he's eating it up. He's becoming a musician, yeah?
Yeah.
That's fucking great, man.
Rotting Entombment.
Yeah, he's got a couple of Instagram handles on some bands that he's working on.
Really? That's fantastic, man. Send him my way, dude. Like, once he gets some shit going, let's get him on here. That'd be fantastic.
Definitely.
That'd be very cool, man. If he's got some stuff to play, that'd be really, really cool. That's cool, man. Yeah. So you started blasting away. Your pick it. So your main jams right now are death metal, huh? That's pretty.
For the
sweet.
most part, I mean, I listen to pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Like at work, I listen to like psytrance and like classical music. So it's all over the place.
Yeah.
It's mood induced.
Damn, two badass stories, man. Holy shit, I love it. I love it. It's like my favorite part of interviewing somebody is finding out that path. You know what I mean? Because it's so exciting to me, man. Because I just remember it so vividly, like, somebody turning you on to something cool, and then you move into the next phase, and like you find that next thing, and it's a little bit faster, it's a little heavier, and then you're like, wow, holy shit. Things can go this fast. You can, and you're learning an instrument and you're figuring out how fast you can go. Man, it's such a great feeling, man. It's so cool. Who's next?
I guess me.
All right.
So when I was younger, driving the car, I would listen to classic rock writers, AC/DC, Van Halen, all those bands through my dad, because that's his cup of tea, So they were great bands, So my mom used to have a bunch of cassettes of different 80s artists. She also collected some from the Philippines too.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're still around, So but American music like ABBA, Janet Jackson, that whole era basically, and
kind of disco era,
funky
disco,
a little bit, Then you got the Filipino karaoke.
Yeah.
We invite to Filipino parties, basically. And there's always a karaoke machine.
That's awesome.
Everyone's got a few beverages in them, trying to hit the high notes and all that. And then my sister had, growing up, a boombox with the 5 CD track, because you can switch CDs. Jay-Z, all the 90s
hip-hop shit.
R&B, hip hop stuff and all that. So those my early memories of listening to music from them. So and then fast forward, I didn't play an instrument, but there was this video game, because I played a lot of video games. Grew up on Crash Bandicoot, PlayStation.
Right.
And speaking of Crash Bandicoot, apparently Netflix is making a TV series, an anime TV series, Crash Bandicoot.
That's awesome.
That was my favorite game growing up. Played a lot of video games, sports games, Madden, NHL, and then later down the road in my middle school era, this game called Guitar Hero came in the scene. First game I played was Guitar Hero 2, and just, I don't know, something about that game, just like you mentioned earlier, the ADHD, but it's just so hooked on
you
it.
Focus on it, though.
Right, exactly.
It's separating your brain, dude.
Star power. Oh, I forgot to do it in time, but that game made me want to play guitar for real.
I can see that.
And then started playing guitar at 14, 15.
Didn't they come out with another guitar game like that you actually
Rocksmith?
Yeah, do you actually learn chords and shit on that, or is it very similar to Guitar Hero in that sense where
I didn't play Rocksmith much, but I've seen videos. I'm just like, how? I'm like wondering the same thing too.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that. I'm not
The
even sure.
controller looked really clunky and had
Right.
like six buttons, and it was like.
But you're like somehow putting your actual like guitar cable into your guitar too
Oh,
at the
okay.
same time. You're actually playing using your guitar. To
Oh,
play
gotcha.
It, so.
So it's not a.
It's not like Rock Band.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Rock Band, and then like Guitar Hero, when after Rock Band came out, like did their own thing on that, you know. So, where Rock Band, you had every instrument, you got the drum set like four times, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but the catalog musically in those games are pretty awesome.
They were
They're
awesome.
all
Yeah,
over the place, man.
exactly.
But epic. You know what I mean? When you were feeling it,
Yeah.
especially when your eyes are fucking burning, you're not blinking. You're
Right.
blue, red, yellow, green, blue. You know what I mean? Your eyes are on fire.
dude, yeah, like I think that game, like Guitar Hero 3, everyone wanted beat Through the Fire and Flames on Expert.
Right.
Just you don't have to be like 100%, but you're just like
Mash,
you're strumming 64th notes like as fast as you can. He's like, I'm not hitting the
Harmon Lee
solo.
play one time.
I know, right? Flips his
insane.
guitar upside down, doing the tremolo. I'm like, I can't do that. So, but I can do it on Guitar Hero. So,
Right. So I mean, did you catch any cool bands after the soundtracks from those games?
like Slow Ride probably.
Yeah.
Just
Foghat?
some Foghat,
yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. Trying to think of the track listing. What's that Eric Johnson song? Yeah, that one hit wonder.
Shit.
Cliffs of Dover.
Yeah.
Cliffs of Dover.
Yeah.
But I couldn't.
Didn't they have Alice Cooper on that one?
Alice
Some
Cooper-
Deftones?
Schools out. Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't they have
Killing in the Name, I think they had.
Yeah.
I know he did
think
$1
a
Billion
rock band.
Babies was on one of those
Yeah.
too, I think.
Yeah. Schools out. Well, Alice Cooper was on that.
That's the only one I would think it would be
There's
on there.
there's a lot of blank spacing on.
Yeah.
You know.
There was a couple Black Sabbath tunes on there too.
Oh yeah,
wasn't there?
Black Sabbath for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. That's a solid
Rest,
thing.
rest in peace, Oz.
Weren't they
Shout
a
out Ozzy.
cover band doing Sabbath though?
Yeah.
Because they
Yeah,
couldn't
I
get
don't
the
think
rights?
I don't think it was the real deal, but
Yeah.
still. That's pretty heavy to be in a fucking video game. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And then I had a friend that was like, we didn't have a lot of money, so
Yeah.
like he had like an iTunes on my computer that's set up, and like the only song that was on that iTunes library was All the Small Things by Blink-182.
Yeah.
And like I used to before that got into Blink heavily,
Yeah.
but I did when I was learning guitar, like Green Day was the band like I'm kind of picking up the tabs because
Yeah,
I learned guitars from tabs.
Yeah.
So I did like guitar lessons at like the Eden Prairie community, like where like the police station is, Sam, right?
Yeah.
That's where I got my first lessons at. And House of the Rising Sun was the first song I learned on
Yeah.
guitar.
Yeah.
That was our guitar teacher taught us that song first.
Good
so,
song.
Not Smoke on the Water. So
That's a good song.
everyone's. Oh yeah, that's probably another song on Guitar Hero too.
What,
That's
Smoke on the
probably
Water?
Smoke on the Water,
Oh, I'm sure.
definitely. Yeah, I was learning Green Day songs, and it helped me like learn the aspect because my guitar playing style is based on punk rock.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
so and then
You can really hear it in the music.
yeah, and then like when people also think of Blink-182, you know, they always think of the singles and all that, right? That's a popular song, of course, but they have like a lot of listen to their discography and like it spoke greatly to me, and then like learning Tom DeLonge's riffs, like
Right.
it made a whole lot of sense to me. So and then, just keep and then that turned into songwriting,
Yeah.
just come up with random riffs,
Yeah.
and then the band in high school that Sam mentioned, learning like a park riffs too.
Yeah.
Because I got it. I didn't, 7 years old when Hybrid Theory came out.
Okay.
And, yeah, I was not paying attention to Linkin Park until I was in that band since then. Because we
Yeah.
know Hybrid Theory, Meteora.
Yeah.
Actually, my sister had Minutes to Midnight when it came out. So I think her boyfriend at the time had the CD when it came out. So Bleed It Out is what I remember from that album. But when I was back to when that band was starting, just learning Linkin Park songs,
Yeah.
top to bottom. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
so that's kind of like the band that kind of was like the gateway
Like push you.
metal.
Yeah.
Towards like the metal side
Yeah,
of
yeah.
things. You know. So.
Yeah. What are you pushing towards now? I see you got a Rad Enhancer shirt on. Those guys are pretty heavy.
Yeah, I mean, I was oh my god, what was that band they were opening up for? Hey buddy, I want to pet your dog.
Oh, Texas Toast.
Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
So I saw they were playing at Pillar.
Yeah.
And then Rad Enhancer, was performed there. They were the only band that night
Yeah.
that had a T-shirt in my size.
Oh, nice.
Basically.
I love that
So
shit.
three-
I'll always buy a shirt if
Big
a
boy
band's got-
problems.
exactly.
Those
Big boy
guys were a lot
problems.
of fun to play with.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
good. They're
Yeah,
good
they're-
dudes, man. They're really good dudes.
Yeah, we played 1 or 2 shows with them. I think
Played
Amsterdam.
at Amsterdam, yeah.
Amsterdam, yeah.
I heard that.
That's a good venue, man. I like
That's
that
how you
place a
know
lot.
a band's good, is if they have bigger sizes.
Right. I like, or they appreciate it. They understand they're in the north. For God's sakes, there's a lot of people that don't.
There's so many merch I want, but it's like, where's your love for the big boys, huh?
I don't blame them though, because I've purchased my own shirts before. I
Right.
know that you get to 2X and they're like, hey, make it rain. You know what I mean? Like, but you think about it, big fellas, we're a giant billboard.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We take our jackets off, or you see that billboard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I always think people are silly. They just go, here, fat guy, take this. You know what I mean? Wear this one for me. You know?
I was listening to like your last episode of your podcast.
Yeah.
There was something about this guy was like brought you to buffets and all
Yeah,
that. So
yeah.
I was like, that sounds like me. I was like, let's go to a buffet.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was the guy back then too, man. Don Decker was the dude. We would go to there used to be a Greek buffet across from Station 4 back in the day.
Oh, Station 4,
And
yes.
he'd
Recipes.
wake up and we'd come meet him down there for tickets or whatever else and go eat with this dude. And he was a big boy, he's about 500 pounds. He's a big fella. So when you sat down, and I love to eat too, obviously I'm not a small guy either, but when you ate with that dude, you got your fill on the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So
Was there a pregame before you entered the buffet? So
weed. Oh, for sure. Yeah. You're getting stoned before that. Make sure the munchies kick in halfway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where you got a couple, I don't know, falafels in front of you or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You're just smashing whatever.
when you're smiling, you're having a great time. When you're eating like a plate full of food.
That's me. That's me at any buffet. I like that shit. I'm good. I'm good with it.
3 bowls of ice cream at the very end.
I don't know about that. That's too much for me. Right there. That's where I got.
Or 2 Chipotle burritos.
This guy loves Chipotle.
I love, shout out to Chipotle.
Yeah, we're looking for sponsors.
Double up. Double up.
Double
too.
steak, man.
That's
all the way.
hardcore right there.
Or our
Taco Bell.
vocalist did live. He was like, "We're sponsored by Bacon Strips."
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've got a little scream I do with a bacon.
That's awesome. How about you, sir? What was your childhood like when it came to music?
Owe it to my dad. He was always listening to like Metallica and Sabbath, specifically Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, Black Album. They got me a tape of double-sided Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction, and then Nazareth was on the backside. And they've got pictures of me with like a little red toy microphone and a guitar, and I'm always like just jamming out, doing my own shows.
Oh yeah.
He would bring me to like pawn shops and stuff, and I'd pick out like little treasures, and that's when I got into Nirvana and a lot of the grunge era type bands. I remember like going on road trips with my grandparents and always like falling asleep to like all those albums in the back seat because they basically raised me. And then I would say into the heavier stuff was Slipknot. That was kind of the thing that pushed me over. And then everybody that was into them was like, okay, that's kind of lame. So now this is what you need to be cool,
Right.
So that opened up the door for a lot heavier stuff.
Right.
But it wasn't until I heard.
Shamed into heaviness.
Yes.
That shit's weak, dude.
Yeah.
Imagine being the 80s, dude. Seriously, like being in the 80s and like kind of liking hair metal, because I kind of did like hair metal a little bit, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden grunge comes, you know what I mean? Like you're into the thrash, and thrashers hated the fucking hair guys, or the death metal guys hated the hair guys, you know? And then like grunge comes in and just crushes everything, and then it's like all grunge and some thrash.
Because like at the time, I was born in '93, so this was a little before that, you know. But
Oh yeah.
it was like, to describe that part was like you go from party, like rock star party,
Yeah.
to like people that were homeless and like not always homeless, but like we're talking about real things in real life, you know. So as they're wearing plaid shirts and jeans, you know, ripped up jeans, you know. So
and half of them hated being famous. You know what I mean? It's crazy, dude.
Because we're not expecting it to be.
Yeah.
Like you look at the Nirvana story, you know, and just that when Nevermind came out, it just blew up on MTV.
Right.
I can't imagine what Kurt and like all those guys were like
experiencing at that
Chris
time.
Cornell, everyone, you know, it's like
I remember seeing them here on Louder Than Love on that album, and they actually got booed off the stage at First Avenue.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was the first time that I had ever seen. That's why when they came back on Bad Motorfinger, they didn't come around for a long time.
Yeah.
Until they dropped that album, and it was like 6 months to 8 months after they dropped the album. Then they played Lollapalooza here. Yeah. But that verse in there where he says, "I'm looking California, but feeling Minnesota," that's where I thought, oh, he's pissed off at the guys at First Avenue because everybody was going, "Fuck you, you suck." Oh, wow. You know, it was Voivod. It was Voivod, Soundgarden, and Faith No More, dude. Faith No More on the real thing, and I seen them twice on that fucking tour. First time was with Babes in Toyland, and there was like 75 people in the main room, and they played the whole Real Thing album, dude, and blew me the fuck away. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the thrash band Sacred Reich. The bass player vocalist Phil from Sacred Reich played at the Varsity Theater, and we were watching the show, and he showed up, and he's goofing around, but we were hanging out smoking weed with him, and the dude was like, "Hey man, if you haven't heard Faith No More yet, man, they just dropped a new album." And he kept talking about Mike Patton, and all of a sudden, like within a week, they showed up at First Avenue. We used to get free tickets all the time to all the shows to go to First Avenue.
I can't imagine his reaction like Mike Patton from Mr. Bungle.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So I didn't even see. I was this much Mr. Bungle when I at that time too, because my drummer who plays in a bunch of different bands, but Josh Kellerman also who's the one of the hosts of The Root of All Evil. Yeah, he lived in the same basement as my drummer. Oh, wow. So Mr. Bungle was around us at all the time. So it was like I knew Mr. Bungle, but I didn't know that he was in Faith No More until just after. Oh, okay, that's that guy, and I was like, holy shit, I got to see that dude. Whoa, that's crazy. But even when Bungle came around, I never got a chance to see him, which kind of sucks because I would have liked to see those guys.
Yeah, those guys are wild.
No, the first show that I ever saw was Aretha Franklin.
Wow. Holy smokes, man. That's awesome, though. How many people do you know can really say that, though? There ain't very many. Right now. Of our, somewhere around our age group, you know what I'm saying? You guys have to be at least 20 years younger than me, but, you know what I mean? That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, that was Grand Casino.
That's really cool. How was that? How was that experience?
It was really cold, and I had a headache, so... unfortunately, I forced my grandma to leave early.
Really?
You didn't fall asleep again, right?
No, I did not.
Dude, I had a broken leg, and I went to see Luther Vandross with my mom. It was one of the best shows I was in so much pain, dude. Dude, I sat there and fucking was just in awe. He was one of the best entertainers I've ever seen in my life, dude.
It's captivating, man.
Dude, he came out in a gold shimmery suit, right? And he's on the top of this fucking staircase, dude. And all of his dancers, they all kind of file in on the staircase. They're in silver. Or wait, maybe they were in gold. He was in silver. Either way, it was one of the two. And each one of the stairs lit up. So he's singing and he's walking down the stairs and they're lighting up and everybody's like, filing out on the stairs, dude. And they're doing this. Man, I'll never forget that shit. But I was in so much pain, bro. Walking on crutches in this fucking auditorium with my mom up all these stairs, sitting there. Like, I enjoyed the show. I loved it. It was one of the best experiences ever with my mom, but holy balls, it was pain. So I get you, dude.
Out in the nosebleeds? Or?
Yeah, we were up there pretty damn
it's
high.
Way up there.
Yeah. I think the first show I went to on my own was the Family Values Tour, and I was in the nosebleed as well.
That was actually my next question, man. Like, after you're kind of on your own and you're listening to things like, what were the bands that you were seeking after all of this? Like, what was your first show? What was your first local show? What was your first experience of holy shit, this happens in my own backyard? That's kind of an experience. Well, but go ahead.
For me, I didn't even get to see any local acts until I was, with the first band I was with, Aimless Theory, mainly when I was growing up. My parents would just take me to bigger concerts, more like stadium concerts in that aspect. And then, as I was going through school, I was going through just like I told you before, going through like band class and percussion ensemble, jazz band, etc. But the bands that really got to me were actual jazz bands. Gene Krupa,
Mhm.
you know, uh, Duke Ellington, big inspiration to me when it comes to just playing jazz.
Those stories, man, are unbelievable too.
Well, the thing is with me, when I got into jazz, I started playing piano too, age 7, and it got inspired for me to actually learn how to play more jazz piano than just playing like more pop, stuff
Right,
that's coming
right.
out these days. But yeah, when we were started playing, when I became the drummer of Aimless Theory, when we had our first couple of shows, I was kind of like, whoa, this is actually it. I'm actually performing now. This is not me, like, this isn't like a typical band concert or, I'm not marching on the field. This is me on the stage on a
The
drum
next
set.
level, yep.
And, like, rest in peace, Station 4. I'll always remember performing at that venue, just on
Yeah.
that big, huge drum riser we got. And I'm just looking at this. They were a sea of people. There's a couple of people there, but I'm just imagining. I'm like, this is what I want to do forever. I love this. Just the performing aspect of it, of just performing and just sharing your music with people who need that inspiration or who just need that that tug of just
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
you know
can't
what's
find the
possible.
words for
No,
it,
but you know,
what I mean.
what's possible. I mean, you know what I mean. You know what, like, as you're growing with music too. You know what I mean. You're feeling the healing properties of it all, man. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying, and like tapping into those other people in that room. You know what I mean, and they're
Yeah.
feeling what you're doing. When you look out there and you see somebody just kind of fucking grooving to what you're doing, it's one of the best feelings ever, man.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. And just a different topic, but just all the bands that we've performed with
Yeah.
throughout like these 2 years or 3 years we've been a band. Shout out to every single one of those bands. Like, we're coming just from, different genres of music and all, but as people,
Yeah.
everybody is
Rock solid people, huh?
awesome.
Good,
Yeah.
good, man.
Shout
That's
out to them.
awesome. Very cool that you're having those experiences, man. Like I know when bands as they're coming up, they'll run into some gatekeepers, man. Have you guys run into any of that type of shit where people are trying to keep you away from doing anything? Have you experienced anything in that?
There's a lot of gatekeeping.
There is. There's a ton of it. It's horrible.
It doesn't have to be music. It can
Yeah.
be like film snobs.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
There's
me.
But I
they're
mean,
everywhere.
just in music in general, and in the scene, it does happen.
Every scene has one of
Yeah.
those.
Clicks.
Like you look at the hardcore scene, it's like they have a certain ethos,
Yeah.
they live by,
Yeah.
There's different culture, different aspects of each genre that, you look at each genre and, there's similarities and there's differences,
Yeah.
And then there's people that live by what that genre represents,
Right.
It's cool,
Yeah.
but like you gotta also let people, you have to be open for new people to enter the door too,
Sure.
so.
Yeah.
Or else you're not-
It's
you're
kind
not
of crazy
involved.
though, you know what I mean? You see it a lot more these days that people are becoming very selective of who they allow to be
Right.
in this community as well. I've been a part of this community since like '89. You know what I'm saying? As far as like local and playing live and like being a part of this music scene, I've seen so many great bands come and go. So many people, excuse me, expand and advance from those bands and become into something completely different. So American Head Charge is an example of many guys that have played in that band came from different bands and made that band that much cooler. You know what I mean? Right. Yeah. And seeing people come and go, you see a lot of people that may get involved in some racist shit or may get connected to something that they're not necessarily, that they don't want. I mean, I know, and I mentioned this on a previous podcast not that long ago. There are guys in the scene who have fallen into that pitfall of playing with people that they didn't vet first. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And those people come out to be. I can use one guy, and I can say this because he was a victim of it. Okay, he played bass in he's an African American guy who plays bass and was playing in with a bunch of white supremacist dudes and didn't even know it really. And he said, then when he did know it, he was like, well, that makes sense. But he's like, I never understood why they wanted me around. And it was just because it breaks that bias that they can't get in because they know everybody knows that they're racist pricks, right? But they got a black guy in the band. So therefore it buffers that for them to get past that barrier, right? Yeah. So when everybody found out about it, and including himself, he was like, fuck them, right? And eventually, you know, those guys went from guy to guy to guy, and people got blamed for it, and you know what I mean? But we've been known to vet people out of the music scene and for the good, but a lot of times and this is why I asked that question, people don't know who you are. Sometimes they don't want to book with you, or, you know, one guy in the band will have a big mouth or something. I'm not saying you guys, but just in general, one guy may be out of line, and then it affects the rest of the band. And, you know, you run into those pitfalls. It's an unfortunate thing, but it does freaking happen, especially in such a small community. It's big, but it's small and all the same breath, I guess.
No, we played a fest last year. We literally just pulled up because it was quite a ways out of the cities here, and just played our set and got off the stage, and then a couple of our peers were waiting for us on the side of the stage, like, oh, good set and all that kind of stuff, but we're taking off because we found out some stuff about the promoters in the area, and it just spread like wildfire through the scene, and the next thing we know, we're like, people are like, oh, every band that played there is canceled now and all this, and we're like, whoa, we didn't know anything about that, you know?
That was crazy.
Now let me ask you, how do you guys, how did you navigate that situation? Where, you know what I mean? You get lumped in with that situation. You have to explain it to people, right? You have to talk to the people that are accusing you or saying that, you know, and that's a difficult thing to put that on just on the table in general, to have that conversation. Just because I was on that show doesn't mean that I have those views. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's very difficult to prove whether you do or whether you don't, because, you know, did you play with one of those bands that was on that bill months before and you didn't know about it? So, you know what I mean? Like, that trickle-down effect is a son of a bitch, because I've seen people just get, you know, pigeonholed and blackballed over the shit, and they don't have anything to do with it. Or if you know them personally, I know a guy personally that I jammed with right now that I wouldn't jam with again, and I've known him 30-plus years because of who he chose to jam with. You know, I mean, that's not on me, that's... I just can't, you know, I wouldn't want to jeopardize my podcast. I wouldn't want to jeopardize my friendships with people that, you know what I mean, because of who he chooses to hang with. It sucks, but what can you do, man? Holy shit.
Yeah. To add on to that event that Eric was saying, there was, like, the event was an outdoor event. There was, like, a bar next to it, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, our peers went into that bar. It's a Confederate flag, you know? So that was, like, kind of like the main aspect of that.
Sure.
Why because they were scheduled to, like, perform too later that night, but they saw that, they're like, we're out.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And we're just like, we talked to them, like, we didn't know about that, like, you know, we don't value that aspect as a band, you know. So
we literally pulled up and loaded in and played right away. Like, we didn't have time to go around and meet anyone. And
get involved in all the politics of everything. Yeah.
But as far as, like, posting afterwards, I just kind of put, you know, hey, my truth's in my lyrics, and
no offense, it was Wisconsin too, so
probably shouldn't say too much.
No, it's understandable. Right. You know, the people who know will know. You know what I mean?
We also, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
No, we also have multiple nationalities in this band, so anyone saying anything like that's just out of line anyway.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. Back to the question though, like what bands? Your first concert? What was your first concert? What was the?
My first, like, show where stuff was mic'd up.
Yeah.
Was at the Depot Coffee House in Hopkins when I was in, like, 7th grade.
Yeah.
Saw some local punk guys play.
Was that right downtown there, or it used to be?
It's, like, right next to, like, I don't know if it's still around, but it was, like, right next to, like, the railroad track. Yeah.
Okay.
Right off Excelsior Boulevard, I think.
Yeah.
They're still around.
I know exactly where you're talking about. I used to work right on that corner right there.
Yeah, and
it was a hooker.
that was subsequently the same.
That's where I remember it.
That happened to be the same place where I played my first show. But yeah, I saw a show there in, like, 7th grade. Sorry, that was funny.
Nightcrawlers.
And then I think, I saw Green Day, I believe, at the end of 8th grade.
Nice.
It was like the Warning tour, I think, and this band
Put on a
called, I
great
think
show.
they're called the Living End, open, and they had like a stand-up bass player. He's like fucking standing up all over his bass and being what that was. That I don't know. Maybe it was just because of like 14. That was fucking wild to me. I loved every aspect of that. And then Green Day got up. That was cool, but they stole the show. And then I kept getting a bunch of like comp tickets to like First Avenue shows. I remember there was this local band called, I think, Stigma.
Yeah.
It was like this 3 or 4 piece like
Yeah.
gothic rock band or something. They were like new metal. They were fucking awesome.
I just had their guitar player on a couple of years,
Oh, really?
just a couple episodes ago. As a matter of fact, what's really
Yeah.
funny is that you say that is that he was afraid. We've talked about this. He'll probably watch this tonight. He usually does after he gets off work. But we talked about this. He's like, dude, I haven't been in the scene for years now. He lives in California. He lives in LA and works
Yeah.
for like a company that fabricates awards for big shows like the Grammys and shit like that. He like fabricates all these awards and does all this crazy shit. He's the guy that did all the fabrication for all of Stigma's shit.
Really?
All of like the
Okay.
cool fucking,
Yeah.
you know, they used to,
Mics, or I
yeah,
think
all
it was
the
like a
mic
mic
stands
stand,
and
yeah.
all that shit. Yeah. Topper used
That
to do
band
all
was
that stuff.
cool.
So he was like paranoid to be on the show. And I was like, dude, you're going to do fine. It doesn't matter. You're an OG from this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we did this great episode, you know, and all of a sudden I just watched his numbers, dude. It went from fucking 30, 70, 100, you know what I mean? Like it just grew and grew and grew. And the
That's
guy hasn't
awesome.
been in the scene in fucking years, dude. 20 years. You know what I'm saying? But he's doing great. He'll
think
probably
you-
be
you
like, fuck you, I ain't doing
mentioned-
great. But
Well, I think you mentioned Head Charge earlier.
Yeah.
I saw. I think that was one of the times I
They
saw
opened
them
for them
open for them
all the time, yeah.
that was awesome. Remember, 40 Below Summer was
Yeah.
also an early one with American Head Charge.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, those are like my earliest shows, and then I saw Slayer, and then that just broke the walls down, dude. I didn't know you could have pits like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think all that was within a span of like 7th to early 9th grade. Saw Cannibal Corpse at First Avenue. Talked to George.
Yeah.
He signed a $1 bill. That was
I
fucking
played.
sweet.
I played with him when I was a kid, dude.
Really? Dude, his
I
neck
played with
is as
Carcass when I
big
was
as it
19.
looks.
Carcass, that's the
Oh,
ticket.
that's
This
sick.
came out of a dude's pocket, and he showed it to me.
That's
He
awesome.
pulled it out of his pocket. He goes, "Dude, you remember this?" And he showed it to me. I don't know if the people can see this too. I've showed it a couple times, but yeah, we got thrown on this show. I actually almost went to jail over that show because of the promoter and I had a huge beef, and he was going to pull us off that show. But anyway, I'm in the same boat, dude. Once it was that steamroller effect, man. That feeling that you had when you saw that band that opened for this big band that you were excited to see. And then you see the band that you're excited to see, and that fucking band blew you out of the water.
Yeah.
You were like, oh, holy shit.
Yeah.
This can be done. This right here. And then you see the one you're there to see, and you're like, I really like
Yeah, that was a fun time, man. I love those bands.
I talked about one of my least favorite shows of all time, and it was a helmet show. And I seen him with Living Color, dude, and it was it was on the Meantime album, okay? And it was their last day of the tour. Living Color opened the show. How you're gonna follow Living Color is beyond me, but it was Helmet, and I was like, I was so optimistic about fucking Helmet. It was the last night of the tour. They were the lamest band I'd ever seen. I just sat there and went. But they had Betty out at the time too. That's the thing, is like they were on the end of Meantime. Betty was out. It was like this. It was a thing. You know what I mean? And I was bummed. It was one of those things where like, fuck.
That's a letdown.
Yeah.
Aren't a bunch of those cats from Minnesota?
Who did?
Helmet?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
The guitar player.
I don't know.
Me and Sam.
I
We
think
started this other project. It was gonna be a pop punk project that lasted like a year. Tried to get something going out of it, but other members, were doing other things.
Yeah.
They just came out of college too, so
Yeah.
like they were kind of figuring life out. So
Yeah.
yeah. There's one of their roommates is Eric Beeman's son. That was it was like a house in like South Minneapolis.
Okay.
We were jamming out at, so he was living there along with everyone else. There's like 3 other roommates, his mom had the house, or it was his grandma's house, but passed along to his mom.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's it was that guy, right?
Yeah, it was the drummer.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think the current lineup is like the guitarist, drummer.
yeah. But his dad
from
is
Minnesota.
Eric Beeman.
Oh,
I
nice.
think so yeah, so
That's awesome.
yeah.
I didn't know
It's a
that.
small world, right?
Yeah,
So-
no shit. Yeah. Did you, what beyond that? Are you good with?
I guess I experimented with like black metal too.
Ooh.
Like I don't know if you guys care about that
Yeah.
stuff, but
Fuck yeah.
saw Dimmu Borgir one
Nice.
time at I think it was First Avenue, and seeing a guy the size of Nick Barker walk off stage after hearing what he did behind the drum kit was,
Did you get to see him up
Mesmerizing.
close, dude?
I mean, as
Playing
close
up
as you
close?
can get to like the rail, but it's like a fog machine.
Did
the
you
whole
see him
time.
at the Quest, or was that
No,
First
that
Avenue?
was at First Avenue. I also saw him at the Caboose once.
Gotcha.
That was ridiculous.
I seen him at the Quest, and I got to hang out with Nick Barker. He's such a cool dude. And their fucking tour bus. I don't know if you guys have ever been on any tour buses, but that was one of the dirtiest, nastiest tour buses I've ever. The Demon Burger bus was horrible, dude. It was there were beer bottles and fucking cigarettes and ashes. I mean,
Just
it was
like
the
16 Shagrath cod pieces laying around. Like that dude rocked
you know
just
the
this massive
the
cod
fucking
piece.
the lipstick roller for the makeup that they're doing and shit. They're all just busted off and laying all over the place everywhere. It's horrible, dude. It's the nastiest thing ever.
A lot of leather, a lot of metal.
Good shit though. Demu's awesome.
Yeah, I love that stuff.
Oh yeah. How about you, sir?
So, so I didn't see any like Sam said. I didn't see any local shows till like later.
Yeah.
So like middle school or my first show happened. Yeah, during later middle school, like 7th, 8th grade. Minnesota State Fair. 3 Doors Down, Stain, Hinder, Jack Black. Stain.
Nice.
Pretty decent lineup. So.
Yeah.
The lips of an angel. I had to do that. So.
My buddy said, "Put your lips on my a-hole," and I've never heard anything other after that. I'm just like, "Oh, you ruined it."
It's an improvement.
Yeah. It's like
Don't,
fucking
don't give me good ideas.
the fucking Bob Seger, that night moves. My buddy just out of nowhere, he goes, "Nice boobs." Like that. Nice boobs, you know? And you just go with it.
Eric tends to do that with our songs, so I'll leak it into the shows. Like I say, like
Or
I won't let you fall apart, and he was like, "Oh, I won't let you suck my fart." So if you see us, sometimes I'll throw that in.
Yeah. So that show was my first show ever, and then like a year later or so, you know, Blink-182 announced their first reunion in like 2009.
Yeah.
And they were with Fall Out Boy at the XL Energy Center. I just like bugged my mom. I was like, I need tickets to this bad, you know.
Yeah.
But I ended up going to that show with my sister. So because she was at the time she was driving, it was like my mom didn't want to drive down there. So
Of course not.
So I had to thank my sister. You know,
Yeah.
I love her so much, you know. But she drove her car at the time, you know, down to XL. Still not used to it being called Grand Casino Arena.
Right.
You know, it's so weird.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Dude, a lot of Wild fans are calling that place the G Spot.
It's
Such a clever name.
That's hilarious, dude. The G spot.
The G Spot, yeah.
Oh,
So as you can tell, I got my jokes from like Blink-182 because those guys are they're serious about their songs, you know, but like I relate to their jokes a lot, you know, because it has to be so serious, you know,
man.
So,
Fuck.
yeah, exactly. So that's the most punk rock thing, you know, is just offend someone, you know, it's just like just say what you want, you know, but you don't, like you said earlier, you know, it's not like they believe in that, you know, it's like, but that like the jokes aspect, you know, it's like don't take life too seriously.
Yeah.
All the time.
Reminds me
you
like
know,
the Bloodhound Gang dudes. Them cats were
my
fucking
God.
hilarious, man. They're so much fun to work for too, man. They are insane.
One of those albums, like one of the song titles, "A Lap Dance," is so much better when the stripper is crying. The most
Oh yeah.
gnarliest song titles or songs in like music history.
Oh,
right
yeah.
there. Yeah, Blink, like it said earlier, Blink-182 was a big influence
Nice.
into my playing and then in my whole life, basically.
Oh, yeah.
And then, yeah, I won't forget that night, you know. So, especially and the State Fair shows too. Also,
Yeah.
it's like just saw a dude just go I don't know, he had too much beverage or not, but he tried to climb over the railing on the grandstand. And he just like ate shit after that. Because he got his other foot. He tried to climb over like hockey players, He tried to climb over the board, but his foot, when he got his second foot, went over. He just got caught, and he just went
backwards or forwards.
I don't know. I don't know if he had a beer in his hand too, but he was gone in the abyss of people.
That's fucking awesome.
He's gone.
Yeah, I love it. How about you, sir?
For me, I was huge into -3, and Autotoxin, my buddy, played guitar for. I remember the vocalist had a cordless mic, and he would always like run around, and next thing you know, he'd be at the bar screaming at you, and it's like, where's the singer? He's not on the stage. He's right next to you. That was so cool. Black Flood Diesel. That kind of got me like chasing a certain sound.
Yeah.
And so I found that sound in bands like Every Time I Die, Chariot, Norma Jean, stuff like that. And I started going to those shows, and just how batshit insane it would go with like just the crowd moshing and stage diving and all that. And I remember Keith Buckley from Every Time I Die. Somebody was in his chats like, "Oh yeah, I've got some shrooms out here," and they held it up in the pit, and he jumped on top of me to grab those, took them, and then towards the end of the set, they have like this kind of psychedelic song they do, and he was just peaking at that part, and I was like, that is such a cool, such a cool vibe. So,
have you ever tried to play on mushrooms?
No.
Okay. I figured, you never know. Like you see somebody do it that you admire, and you're like, I gotta try it at least one time. You know what I mean?
I think I've written or wrote songs on substances before, but as far as performing, I try to stay sober.
Yeah, well, that's good, man. That's good. I appreciate that. I'm no. Who wants to pay to see somebody just wasted out of their skull? You know what I mean? Like, I wasted my money to come enjoy your band or support your band, and you're gonna like disrespect my time by just being a shitbag. You know what I mean? Like, play the song, get off the stage, let's party together. You know what I mean? Like, I want to have fun too. Fuck.
It makes you think about Motley Crue too. Like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
well, all of those bands back then, man. You know what I mean? Guns N' Roses, all of them. I remember people getting so mad at Guns N' Roses because they wouldn't come on for hours and hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of crazy.
We had a joke about that. Just the last show we played, where you guys were like, "Come on, Axel."
No, yeah, it was like Nirvana, like responding to Axl Rose. He's like, "Hi, Axel. Hi, Axel."
Dan Dittmer, thank you for joining us, buddy. Appreciate it. Let me see here. Justin, professional beard grower Boney. Dan says, that's hilarious. J-Roll Music just yells, Keith. Clawhammered says, yeah, what's a fire? Let me see here. Dustin says, sup, boys? Let me see here. Steve says, Eric. Which one? Brother? Steve again said LOLs, and then he says, you should, which I don't know. I love that about the chat. If you're not paying attention, I actually have to get a monitor so you guys can pay attention to the chat, because I'm talking to you guys. I'm doing this, and I know that it's distracting, like when you're asking somebody something and they're replying to you, but you're going, oh, what was that? It's rough like that, but they're here, and we appreciate you very much for joining us too, folks. Eric says the mushroom spoon? Question mark? Eric the mushroom spoon?
Oh.
There must be a good story there somewhere.
You gotta tell it now.
That was our previous project, Sam, I, and Joey and Dustin.
Mushroom spoon?
That we had a table in our den of iniquity that had a diseased, cursed spoon on it, I believe. I think that's the right story.
Yeah.
Or
From what I remember.
Yeah, during the writing for all that stuff, we were into a little bit heavier substances, I suppose. But in a hardcore band, you got to be more straight.
Yeah, I gotcha. Steve said, I said he should try shrooms. I meant, I gotcha. That's they're trying to fucking talk you into using substances while you do something fun. That's the thing about bands, though. You don't need the substances to enjoy that feeling of euphoria. You know what I
don't
mean?
know you, mister.
Right. Right. There you go. All right. Well, hey, Let's we got another song. We've got a song off the Rage EP, right? Some Scream, Scream, Scream. Is that what it is, or is it just Scream?
Some people call it Scream. In my personal opinion, it should be called Scream, Scream, Scream.
Right.
Just because I took influence from the actual songs Sing, Sing, Sing.
Gotcha.
And if anyone's ever heard of that song, it's a jazz influence, and it has this really cool tom like rhythm in the beginning, and then the horns come in, and then there's the big chorus part at the end where it's big. And while writing this song, I took inspirations from listening to that song and kind of incorporated it into our sound. Kind of wanted to make it more heavy in that sense.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic, man. Well, let's take a listen, folks. Stick around. We're going to pound some tunes, and we will be right back.
City lights blur and spike like a massive stigmatism. Metropolis calls to you, beckoning into her neon bar luminescence as she stands outside with a coffin nail pressed between her lips to exhale the passion and hypnotize the hazy swirls. You spin like left, right, left, right, left, right, so right, left, right, so right, of course I'm taking myself right. Inside the Envy Lounge, she smokes a cigarette dipped in formaldehyde. She glances and you play out the look at her breasts. And the room starts to spin like a 45. Like right now, we're calling it dead. Then right now, they're calling out. Then right now, we're calling it dead. Then right now, spit forever the same brothers on your lips. The same brother on your lips. Don't walk late, sir. Don't watch us out without things, sir. I'll break it down. We'll break it down. One, two, three. I'll take myself up from the underground. I'll take myself up from the underground. I'll take myself up from the underground. Feeling alright, got down. I'll keep myself from under. Keep myself from under. Keep myself from the underground.
Woo, we're back. What's going down, folks? Thanks for sticking around, listening. Hopefully you enjoyed that tune. I really did hear the jazz influence on that tune for sure on that, man. After, like I said, I came back from the bathroom and I was telling the drummer here, like, that's the thing I hear in that song. And now that I know that is a part of your history, it makes a lot more sense. And then you saying that you try to incorporate some of that. I love that, man. It's fucking great.
Thank you.
I always love to hear when where people are drawing influence from too, man. That's always another thing. I wanted to ask you guys. Let me see here. 3 of the most influential albums that you couldn't live without. So we can go around the table. You got 3 choices, and you can always come back if you want to. If you're forgetting the 3 or you don't have 3 off the top of your head, you can pick one and move, and then pass it to the next person. Come back around.
I just ran up the stairs. Give me a second.
Oh, I got you.
after having a smoke, dude.
He's checking his heart rate.
Yeah.
Definitely for me, one of my albums that I listened to pretty kind of like a middle school album, straight top to bottom, was Siamese Dream, Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful album. And the drumming of Jimmy Chamberlain just got me into just, I'm like, wow, he's just keeping 8th notes on the hi-hat the whole time while he's doing these crazy fills and this keeping a nice straight beat throughout the whole entire album. And I'm like, this is absolutely incredible.
Right.
One of that one. And you mentioned to one of them, Helmet. Was it's their second album.
Betty.
Yeah, Betty. That one I can listen to straight through. What's another one? I don't know. There's a lot for me.
Rage Against the Machine.
Oh yes, thank you. Oh yes, I appreciate you for that. They're self-titled.
Yeah.
That one I can straight through all the way.
91, I saw him at First Avenue with House of Pain, dude.
That is
on
crazy.
album.
I've
I
heard
remember
about that show.
remember watching Tom Morello, dude, and saying to myself, he's gonna be on every guitar magazine from now on.
Yeah.
And sure as shit, man. And that was when you could go into Schindler's and all those spots where they had, rows of magazines and all the metal magazines and all the guitar magazines. He was on everything, dude. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Speaking of just like genres itself, like that's another band that's influenced me a lot with just playing. It's Brad Wilkes. Just such a lays down a beat and just lays it down through the whole. Time.
Just his playing, man, just watching him play makes me think that you could throw anything at that dude and he would just fucking just right through it. Just fucking, you know what I mean? Like it wouldn't even affect him, man. Every single project, the Audio Slave stuff, everything I've seen him play, just that bass player too, man.
He's not even like a crazy drummer. He's more of just to lay down and just lay down a fat beat. Yeah.
Did on the notes on that album, didn't they say like all samples you think are samples is actually guitar?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, he used to.
Saw them
Man,
on
he
a
did some
hill.
crazy shit.
Saw them on a hill one time in Wisconsin.
Oh, that's sick.
It was raining. There was no moshing. There was just
Just
mud
on the hill.
slides.
Wow.
Pure rain
That
in the
was
mosh.
crazy show.
Yeah.
I don't remember even looking at the stage. I was rocking out so hard.
Yeah, that's awesome right there.
They canceled both shows that I had tickets to. One with Run the Jewels and Wu Tang.
Oh.
Two fucking groups I'd love to see him with. Holy shit, that'd be sick.
I saw them. I saw Wu-Tang and Nas together at the New York State of Mind tour in 2022. Oh, that was so good. Just on the bleachers, just seeing Nas and the whole group. Just and I think, in my opinion, the best part is seeing Wu-Tang Clan, but then seeing ODB Son on the stage too. I'm like, that's awesome. You're paying tribute to your dad like that. So
hell yeah. Yeah, that's real hard, man. How about you, sir? 3 albums you couldn't live without?
First one that comes to mind immediately is After the Burial's Rare Form.
Woo!
That's hands down
Hometown boys, huh?
my favorite record, period.
Fantastic,
No
man.
ifs,
Big
ands, or
shout
buts.
out to the boys, huh?
I think I'm tainted by an album by Deicide called Once Upon a Cross.
Mhm.
That through and through is one of my favorite old school kind of death metal sounding albums. And Thriller.
There you go.
I can't deny the beats in that. The drums are so good. Quincy, whoever wrote that,
facts.
fucking amazing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Just
for
like-
sure. That's just an iconic album no matter what,
Yeah.
dude. It's so hard. It's so good. Go ahead.
How about you?
You're deep in thought right
I
there.
know,
thinking over there.
Like I have the 2, but I'm thinking the third one.
Yeah.
It's
But the 2 I'm thinking right there. So back to Blink, Take Off Your Pants and Jacket.
There you go.
I think the production on that is that's top tier Blink right
There you go.
And I would put probably the influence on this band too is like I got Sam hooked on it and then everyone else, but Turnstile Nonstop
yeah.
Feeling. So
Of course.
big influence. So
Yes.
Hell yeah.
love me some Turnstile.
There you go.
So,
Yes.
So and then got into them late, but I wish I got into them earlier, you know. But Title Fight, Shed, or Floral Green, you know. So just spectacular album, you know. Just it's one of those one of those recordings where it's just like organic instrumentation. Will Yip, who did Title Fight albums and the Turnstile albums, he did other really incredible records too. Tiger's Jaw, but main philosophy is just organic instruments, you know, not overproduced vocals, anything like that, you know, but like shine the lights on all the artists he works on. And like the Title Fight albums are pretty influential to a lot of like those adjacent hardcore groups during that time in the 2010s, you know. So like there's a band called The Story So Far, like all those bands were at one point in their timeline during that era were influenced by Title Fight, the records they put out, you know. So and yeah, that's the three I can think of right now. So
hell yeah. Yeah.
Before Eric starts, I just want to interrupt really quick. Another band that I want to just point out that I listen to straight through is the Beatles' White Album.
There you go.
All
just
the
listening
way.
to that shit.
All the way. It's I have that on record. You just put it on, and I can just sit in my bed, look up, and just be immersed into the music.
Right.
It's so good. But,
yeah, if there's a piano, he's gonna play a Beatles song.
You got it, man. I got it. I got you on it. I got you on Let It Be.
Yeah,
That's awesome, dude.
at the Acadia and
awesome.
Clash.
Hey Jude.
Oh
They
yeah.
got pianos there.
Yeah.
He's always.
Yeah, every time besides the fact, every time there's a venue and there's a piano, I'm going to quickly just go up and be like, hey, can I play a little tune on there? You know, just,
Yeah,
just to play.
when we were leaving Clash, you were like, hey, can I open that?
Yeah. I'm like, it's sealed. It says, please don't touch, but I do want to touch it.
Yep,
So
I
can
have
I
to.
please touch
I
it?
could not leave this room without touching that.
Yeah, for real. Like everyone's packed up their stuff. Everyone's good to go. I'm like, I'm not leaving until I play this piano. I'm sorry.
I leave until I play a C major chord.
Dude, so I was at my daughter's graduation this last summer, you know.
Congratulations.
And thanks. Congratulations, Sophia. You did it.
Yes.
But I was watching. I just went to the bathroom and I was holding my granddaughter, and I look over and I see the production area, what they're doing. And they had everything set up, you know, shit like mine. And they had a stream deck that was all like wired to everything that they were doing, all their cameras and shit. All, you know, all their cameras were the exact cameras as mine. And they were on big tall tripods all over the room, you know. I was like, oh shit. I'm looking, I'm going, oh man, those are my cameras. And I'm carrying my granddaughter and I walk by the guy and I go, all right, so I got to start asking all kinds of questions. And they just turn around and look at me and I go, what model is that? And the guy goes, oh yeah, this is and then he just went off on it. And he's like, this is how I run it. And the other guy like looks over and he goes, what are you doing? And he goes, he started asking questions, man. It was like, I just flipped his switch. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, you're talking my language all of a sudden, you know. We were just all talking about cameras and fucking, you know, how he's got everything hooked up and all of that. It was great. It was great. One of those situations where I had to see it. I had to talk to him. The same thing about the piano. You got to see it. You got to talk to him about it. I don't know many people that do the shit like that. You know what I mean? That's how it would be if I saw a fantastic piano player and I had to ask him all the questions that I possibly could. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Sully Erna from Godsmack. Everybody will laugh at this one though, but I worked one of the first shows when they came to town on their first album at the 400 bar, and there was nobody in that room, nobody. And I watched them play that first album that they got huge on in the 400 bar, and Sully Erna had a MIDI pedal that he was controlling his vocals with. And I've seen, you know, Cameron from Head Charge use different mics and all this other shit. So I was really curious what this dude was doing, you know? Yeah. So I went up to him and he was the coolest dude to talk to when they first started. You know what I mean? He's like, yeah, we're touring around, you know, we've got drums and we've got, you know, I used to be a drummer and I play guitar now and I sing, you know, and he's telling me all this shit. And he goes, being out on the road, you got to have as much control of the production as you possibly can. And he goes, you don't know what kind of sound guy, you might not even get a good sound guy. So the pedal is the way I can control my vocal stuff. So he was super cool. And then as they came back, he just became a bigger douche. You know what I mean? It was just like, oh, good God, this guy's full of it. He's just this big and he's fucking heads this big, you know.
Dude,
We're the coolest
Sam,
band
I
ever.
don't know if you remember, so when we were Nameless, you know, we played at 400 bar.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but our vocalist at the time,
Yep.
he we decided to do at the end of the show him just break a guitar on stage.
Did they lose it?
The guitar didn't break. There was like a few marks on the stage floor because it's like a wooden floor.
Yeah, you're lucky
Or
it didn't go through the floor.
Or
that
not.
place.
It was like a wooden stage, so
yeah.
it's just like a few marks on it.
Yeah.
It's like hit it harder. He's like, I'm trying, bro.
That's hilarious, man. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
I'm working up to let Sam, or to have Sam let me jump into his kit. It's coming.
Not in my DW kit.
I'll
I'm
have
sorry,
you use
man.
my busty one.
That is just fine.
Just buy a shitty kit and just do it for that show.
Just
So,
one show. Let them do it.
Oh, I'm
That's-
itching. I really want to do it.
hilarious. They're making fun of you. It said it didn't break with a big laughy face. That's funny. That's hilarious, dude. That's awesome.
wish you were there.
Now you guys said you guys have been a band a couple years now, 3 years, 4 years now.
A little over 2,
2?
No, 3.
3.
Yeah, they're about 3. Yeah.
So the writing for the first EP took about a year.
Okay.
And then we didn't start playing shows till about around then.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 years. Yeah.
This would be the third year.
Yeah. Math is hard.
So this is a question that's kind of up in the air for this one, and I wanted to do the first half of it on the first segment, and then the second half on this segment. But it kind of runs together now. But as you guys have started from the time that you started, have you seen the change, the scene change at all? And if so, how so?
I think there's some eyes that people are paying attention to us,
Yeah.
But I don't think the scene is still the scene, So
Yeah.
I think we're still
Fairly early enough to see
like
that.
we I think we've accomplished a lot within the 3 years that we've
Yeah.
been together, you
Yeah.
know, and like we're really proud of what we've done and put out,
So the change has been positive for you guys so far.
Yes, exactly. But I think we're still striving to we want to work on like branching out of the area,
Sure.
and go to different states.
Yeah.
It's a goal of ours. So
Yeah.
so I think, but there's eyes that are paying attention to us for sure. So
Awesome.
So
That's very cool, man. Very cool.
Yeah, last year we played or performed about 20 to 23 shows, and the year before that was another 20 something shows. So in the last 2 something years of being a band, we've played over 40 shows, and it's a big accomplishment to all of us because not only that we're learning each other's strengths and weaknesses through making music, but just just being there for each other in a way, and it's one thing to make music and go and perform it with with your bandmates and perform in front of people, but you have to have that chemistry with your band. You have to have that communication, and you got to have that sense of if you're all guys in the band, you got to have that brotherhood. If you got a female in your band, got to have that brother and sister type of deal in the band. And you're gonna have your disagreements about certain things, but and all it comes to it is just performing music. For example, there's things on the new EP that I kind of wanted, and it didn't get it on there, and I'm perfectly fine with that because I'm not focused solely on my part of that didn't happen at the end.
Right.
It was more focused on the whole instrumentation, vocals itself throughout the whole song that I was ultimately proud of.
Right.
So, yeah.
So you accomplished the goal anyway. That you were seeking the goal with not every single tool that you would have liked to have in the arsenal, but it was sufficient enough to get the job done positively. That's
101%.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's all anybody can ask for when it comes to a project. That camaraderie, that brotherhood, that watching out for each other. You know what I mean?
No, I love these dudes. I really do. They're my brothers. I know I got a brother at home. I shout out to him. But it was really hard for me to grasp musicianship while growing up.
Yeah.
Because people always had kind of just judgments out there. Well, you should be playing this, or you should do this, or we should act like this. It's like it doesn't matter. Just do what you want to do. Make the music you want to make.
Right.
And just be yourself. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
I mean, as a human being in general, that's the way it should be, and as a musician, even more too. You know what I mean? Because it's so easy to get shamed into, oh, dude, you're not doing something hard enough. You know, that's what sucked. There's guys in this music scene that I came up with that transcended genres. You know what I mean? We came from death metal, so it was like we were trying to be the hardest dudes in town. You know what I mean? If there was somebody harder or spitting blood or carving something into themselves, everybody was trying to do some sort of something to be harder than the next guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Trying to fit in.
But then after all of that kind of dissipated, and we got a little bit older, it was like I got to see some musicians transcend into other shit, like new metal, where there was hip hop to it. There was a different genre attached to metal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I always listened to R&B and rap, so I really appreciated new metal that much more. But there were guys that I saw go from a death metal singer to a fucking hip hop guy, and then back to thrash, and then back to death metal. You know what I mean? Where I went from like death metal to like somewhat new metal on the heavier end with a little bit more hardcore feel to it, back to death metal, back into the kind of, still thrashy, nothing. I always wanted to switch genres and switch gears, but I was always afraid of that. I fell into that same thing. That's why I cued on you saying, yeah, you listen to Slipknot, and then somebody says, oh, that's not heavy enough for you. And it's like,
Yeah, but you're
who the
into
fuck
what?
are you to judge what I'm listening to? I mean, seriously though, you know what I mean? Like, I always love to hear people that come in with the Linkin Parks and things that people, they look at it and you go, they turn their snobby metal nose to it. You know what I mean? Right. That is the path that they found where they are, where you're standing with them right now. So why are you poo-pooing on them? You know what I'm saying? Like, let them enjoy what they, we're all in the same, we made it to the same chapter all of a sudden. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't matter how we got there. We all ended up in the same group, in the same community. You know what I mean? Playing heavy stuff and appreciating heavy people's music. You know what I mean? And
Facts.
Yeah, and then these kids are going to be influenced off Sleep Token and like Spirit Box and all this, in the current bands right now. It's going to evolve.
But I go back to just this side of the table, man. You talking about being enthralled in music, and then you saying your son is doing the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, I will continue to say this on the podcast. That is one thing that I absolutely love. If I see an all-age show and they're old people just kind of sitting back there like, they're not there for that music. The kids are. I stop and say thanks. Like, you're the reason that our lifestyle continues and flourishes is because you were the ones that are going, okay, I don't hear what you're doing. You know what I mean? You say, you know what I mean? Over and over again. Those parents don't hear that shit. They just go, my kid's doing something creative. Hell yeah, let them be creative. Right. That's the best thing about it. That's why this podcast exists, is because I want to hear them stories. I want people to charge from what we're doing, man. My hair is standing up right now. I'm not even joking, because to me, it's the quickening. I'm 53 years old, dude, and I still get my hair standing up talking about this shit. I can see your
tattoos moving around.
It does, man. They are right now. I'm not even joking. I'm literally got chicken skin right now.
Optical illusion.
But that's what fires me up, man. I love hearing about it, and if there's any young folks out there, man, rewind, listen to what these guys are talking about. It doesn't matter. Like you said, you kind of get into the heavier stuff like later on. It doesn't matter when you hit it. When you hit the stride, as long as you get there, man.
100%. And like some of my favorite shows that we played, it's not just the ones that my son's able to go to, but those are great. But like when we play it like Flying V, seeing like all those kids just
dude,
going nuts because it's what they wanted to do, but they normally wouldn't be able to go to.
Dude, I heard a kid. I heard a guy. He came to work the other day, and he's a guitar teacher. Actually, he teaches down at the Shred Den. Shout out to Tannic. He was talking about one of his students that was playing at the Flying V, and he was like, "Yeah, he's from. I think he's from Fargo Moorhead." So his band came down and played Flying V, and he goes, "Dude, I walked in there with 300 kids in the room." And I'm like,
that's wild.
Wow.
That's
now,
awesome.
And if you're watching this podcast or listening to this podcast right now, and you're not tapping into that as a local band right now, if you're not going to Flying V or those venues that are catering to those young kids, what happens when they hit 18? What happens when they hit 20? where the fuck are they going to go? They're going to go to everybody else's shows. So if you guys aren't smart enough to take those flyers over to those Flying V shows and start booking all ages shows and start tapping into it, you're going to go into the bar scene and you're going to fail like everybody else is right now.
Those kids,
That's
those
the
kids
sad-
at the V.
They throw
watch
down.
hard.
That's exactly what
fun,
he said. And he goes, I don't know where the hell they all came from. And that's what I said. This
They all
is
got
what
dropped
this
off.
is. But that's the thing, though. This is what the old folks need to hear. Now, when I say old folks, I'm saying if you're in the drinking age of the bar scene right now, and you're 21, you ain't even drinking at all, and you're still trying to tap them young cats are still waiting to be able to get into that bar. Start playing all ages shows, man. Start tapping into these Flying V spots.
You don't have to do it all the time, but like, like people are gonna.
All right, so here's another question that I want to ask you guys, and I'm getting fired up and I'm getting thrown all over the place right now, but this is a very important question. And I said, favorite ways that you guys like to promote your band?
Well, I just started doing like the old school way of printing up flyers and doing my laps around town. I start on the west end and kind of make a smiley face, come back up through the east end, and a lot of online promotions. I'll pay for some of the things here and there, trying to reach out to radio personalities, friends, word of mouth, things like that.
That's very cool. And that's a plan, you know? I hear people that fall into this category, and it's been happening since, and I haven't played a show with any of my bands for 5 or 6 years now, okay? Now, I seen this when I was in a band and still doing this podcast. People throw their hands up, right? They do one show with a big band, okay? Who's a big band right now? Let's say By the Thousands right now is doing really well, okay?
Oh, yeah.
So they offer you a show, okay? Now, here's the thing. They offered you a show. They're doing very well. Are you going to ride off of their doing very well, or are you going to make the effort to go do your rounds? You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people fall into that thing where they're like, one guy in the band has a stack of flyers, and he goes, hey, man, we got to get these handed out. There's a few big bills to stick on the walls. There's little handbills we could stick all over. You got a tattoo shop by your house. You got a tattoo shop by yours. You got radios. You know what I mean? Everybody should be delegating that route. You shouldn't be the only guy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. But young cats will think in their head, I played one show with By the Thousands and now I'm huge. Now I don't have to flyer because now my name's out there. Doesn't work like that. You always have to stay diligent on that guerrilla shit, because honestly, if you're not paying for that little bit of push on Facebook or Instagram or one of them spots, it sucks to pay for your promotions. You shouldn't have to. What people should be doing is not making just those routes, but going to those shows that are out in town. You don't have to go to the whole damn show. You don't have to go to the whole damn show. Get there at the end of the show or the matinee. What position's the best position in the whole damn bill? The second and third slot of a 4-band bill, right? It's the best spot. It's the matinee spot. It's the spot that all the drunks come out. They see the good bands in the middle. They say, I'm going to hit the last call over by my neighborhood, and they dip. And if you're the last band on the bill, if you're not out there being guerrilla and actually making the effort to put it in there, to get into those people's heads, to be friends with those people, that networking shit, it makes a big difference, man. If you're not getting off stage and talking to people or sitting at your merch booth, schmoozing it up, talking to people, you're fucking up, man. You need to be out there pushing it.
Well, you get
1,000%.
you get the guys that are still there from the first band, and then you get everyone that's funneling in for the last band. But these guys are always in the pit.
Yeah.
I tend to stand back to the merch sometimes, but I'll get in there too. And all of
It's
us.
funny you mentioned the By the
too.
Thousands guys. That Amsterdam show I was mentioning with Rat and Hanser that we played with all those bands. Hondo and Dustin were just posting
Chilling,
up, and
right?
I'm just like, hey, holy shit, what's up, guys? So yeah, shout out to By the Thousands.
Yeah.
But no, these guys always going crazy for every other band, and like one of the unwritten rules, be there until the end.
Dude, I'm going to tell you this, man. I know at firsthand, it shows if you give a shit and you're sitting around for those early bands or you're hanging out for those late bands, those dudes see it and those dudes appreciate it, and they will always come for your shit. As long as you show up, they'll start showing up. They'll make the effort. If you're doing that shit, being in the pits, starting those pits for people, if they see you and you throw your hands up to let them know that fucking your boys are in the building, That I did that all the time. I wanted you to know I was there, and I was going to start a pit for you because you're my homeboy. That's it. You know what I mean? People appreciate that. They come back. They show up. Young cats, I can't stress this enough. Listen to these cats. Get out there and flyer. Do what you need to do. It's very important to keep it going. They can learn a lot from you guys, even at 2 and 3 years in, man. You know what I mean? You guys are still fresh in it. You're still hungry. You know what I mean? You're still writing on a regular basis. You know, that's something that people need to realize. It's not all, hey, man, we got to this thing. We play with these dudes now. We can ride it out. We can make it big, dude, you know?
Another tactic is, I copied from Korn was getting stickers and just putting them everywhere.
Dude.
So, like,
Sam's got
I love
at that.
Yeah, I was recently in Florida and I was at Disney Springs. Shout out to Disney Springs, and we were putting up a bunch of sponsored by Mickey
pulling all
Mouse.
the plugs in.
And I was pretty much just putting up stickers just everywhere, just by the bathrooms, by like rides, by.
You have no idea. Like, this dude will put stickers anywhere.
Don't.
Bro, I used
Everywhere.
to carry
say
a
where.
big ass marker with me, and I would go into every porta potty and put sublevel.com on
Heck yeah.
everything, dude.
This dude will, like, he'll send a Snapchat to us, and he's at the Taco Bell.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah.
In a drive-through.
That's my
and
favorite.
to put our sticker on the Taco Bell drive-through speaker,
Oh, yeah.
and it sits there for like 3 months.
Dude,
I think he's hit
what-
every Taco
what's
Bell.
Yeah,
great
shout out to Taco
about your guys' logos and the things that you guys use is that they're fun too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not just like, you know, blood and guts. It's like, you know, I mean, there's fucking anarchy in a fucking, you know, a hand grenade.
It's our
dude.
logo and a
Yeah.
grenade smiling.
Yeah, dude. That's the shit.
Yeah, we did some SpongeBob inspired stuff, and
Yeah.
we got some hardcore baby stuff in the work because I brought my son out to a lot of shows in the beginning, and he would always have his like earphones on and be like, you know,
so
throwing
awesome,
up
dude.
horns and.
See?
Hardcore babies
That's what
in
I'm
the
talking
house.
about, dude.
Now,
That's awesome.
now it's ingrained in them. So like when we're watching music videos, I like to watch a lot of live performances on YouTube and stuff. And
He's throwing down, huh?
after every song, he claps. So
That's so killer,
So
dude.
respectful.
Or
so
when you play like
awesome.
a tune or something, or he'll move his body like that, or
Oh, yeah.
like the body move. I
Yeah.
love that, dude.
So my granddaughter's 2, you know, and she doesn't know me singing anything like that. My daughter played a song for her, and she just running around, oh, like that, right? So she was telling my wife, Nana, I love you, and then she go, I love you, and it's super funny because she'll say it real high pitch. Nana, I love you, like that, and so my wife will say it, and then she'll go, I love you. It's like hilarious, dude. You know what I mean?
yeah, one of the sound clips that I'm gonna try to sneak into the full length. We should have used it on the EP. Was I was doing vocal warm up, and then you hear Evers in the background going, bah, bah, like that. I'm like, yes.
That's awesome, dude. Oh yeah, that's very cool, man.
I haven't done it in a while, but like when we mentioned about going back to you know, supporting your homies at shows, you know, like I haven't done it in a while, but like when we play with a band called Stoneark,
Yeah.
you know, after the end of their songs, you know, I would just go Mr. Krabs and Sponge, be like, money, money, money,
Oh no,
and everyone just picks it up after that. So
Colopsia.
everyone would just, as they're tuning their bass or guitar, they're just like do the Mr. Krabs claw basically.
yeah,
So-
Colopsia is another one that we all at each other's shows will start a crab pit.
Yeah.
from Mr.
Oh,
Krabs
yes.
later.
the crap hit.
They'll play like the one song, dun, 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 and then
Yeah.
we'll start like a crab pit.
Even Ekphasis, Liam at our Halloween show did the SpongeBob theme.
That's awesome.
What was that venue in St. Paul, White Squirrel Bar?
Yeah.
When I had the box of pizza in the pit.
Oh
Oh yeah, right.
no, that was the one venue that got canceled.
Yeah.
The
White Rock Lounge.
Yeah.
Oh, White Rock.
Now, I mean, you guys are. That had to have been pretty fresh for you guys. I mean, what do you guys think about how that thing all went down?
From the stories that I heard, it's a bad deal. So I feel bad for the employees that had to endure it, and pretty much we're not for supporting anything like that.
Yeah.
So once
awesome,
once we heard that, we were like, okay, we'll just play other places,
Yeah, I
just
know.
like that other fest that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
It's like we had a good time, and like when all the scene kids were kind of trashing everybody there, it was like, well, there's handicapped kids here, and there's old people, and you know,
Yeah.
they shouldn't be grouped in to that. But
Right.
but I won't play that again.
Right.
So
Yeah, it's unfortunate how that fucking goes down like that, you know. Let me see here. I have a question for you. So, what as a band or what as a musician what keeps you guys motivated to be creative when it comes to anything in your life as far as creativity? Because it can't just be music. Most musicians that I know are creative in so many other aspects as well. You know what I mean? Maybe writing or whatever they're doing in their job. You know, there's always other creative avenues that musicians always tend to go down. So what are things that keep you motivated in your creative process?
For me, it would have to be it would literally have to be my mom and my real dad. Shout out to him, rest in peace. He influenced me a lot, and my mom just with music playing, going to shows, and just basically just playing an instrument just for fun. And instead of I love video games. Video games are fun, but there's a time in my life where after he passed away, there was an emptiness in my heart where I had to find something to do with feeling that heart again. And what I've always remembered is his music, and always him playing music, and him teaching me, just like we'd be in the basement and we do like Obla Di Obla Da by the Beatles. We just play that, I pretend I'm Ringo Starr and he's Paul, and we're live on stage in front of people, just playing it and stuff. But yeah, that's one of my most aspect of creativity was through them.
Awesome.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So, and just listening to different genres of music in general,
And can I say, dude, you were making your father very proud to be a musician and to carry that on, dude. You're making him very, very proud, dude. Because
appreciate that.
That's you know what I mean. I always try to tell my friends this, man. When they pass, everybody always goes, yeah, I have the memories, and you got all this stuff, and it never leaves. It's never gonna leave me. I'm always gonna feel sad about it and all this other shit. And I always tell people, never feel sad, because they gave you multiple things. One, the blood pulses through your veins, right? Their blood pulses through your veins, okay? Yeah. Two, they gave you all of those memories, and those memories that he gave you will continue on because of the music. And not only if you're not thinking about him, he'll always pop up in the music, and that makes his legacy and everything that revolves around music that much stronger, dude. It is a fucking fire to fuel you into that shit.
It's really funny you say that, because every time I get on stage before we're about to just perform, like when they're Keith and Eric are setting up their guitars and Eric's warming up, like I kind of just look up in the sky and I kind of just like give like a kiss in the sky and just be like, I know you're watching. I'm about to perform tonight.
Yep.
I'm about to kill it for you.
Yep. That's awesome, dude. Yeah. That's awesome that you pay tribute. That speaks volumes of what type of person he turned you into too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. To pay homage and to never let it go. It reminds me of the movie Coco. You know what I mean? They talk about the ofrenda, how people start forgetting about him and they vanish. You know what I mean? Yep. Like in the spirit world. So he'll never vanish. He'll always be there with you. You know what I mean? Like I even pass that along to my children when it comes to family that I lost. I tell them stories about the cool shit that we did and the things that will always stay with me. Yeah. I always tell my kids, it don't matter. I'm forever gonna be immortal. It doesn't matter. Yeah. You put those notes down that you created down, you're forever immortal. You created something, man. Not a lot of people can say that. Not everybody can say that. That's something, man. It's such a golden gift that we've been given, man. You know what I'm saying? A total gift, man. Somebody may find one of our albums one day and just go, holy shit, where did these guys come from? Maybe they'll find this podcast. Maybe they'll be inspired by it. You know what I'm saying? How about you, man? What is it that keeps you creative?
Besides food.
Sustenance.
To be honest, like one of the things that kind of gets under my skin but like motivates me to like open the laptop and start fucking around with my guitar is, I know it sounds dumb, but there'll be like a slight dust buildup on the top of the laptop, and I'm like, it's been a couple days,
so it's reminding you.
Yeah, so like I get the itch, and then next thing I know, it's like 2-3 hours later, and I'm just making dumb like caveman slam shit like on the computer. But I like showing my son like some of the dumb creations that I make like in the basement. Once in a while I'll pop some riffs to like the group chat to these guys, but like knowing that my son was like, it's pretty decent, I'm like, thanks, man.
Right.
Like that's that's pretty motivating. But,
Sure.
Also, I one of the things that like for me is a big deal, especially like with playing shows, is that I have a very good support system at home. Like I have a fiance that's my world.
Dude.
And I could not
Dude.
make it to any of this shit without her.
Dude.
And shout out to Shelby.
Dude, shout
Love
out
you.
to all the fucking
But-
ladies that stand behind cats
Yeah,
like us
dude.
and musicians in general.
Yes.
That's a huge thing, man. That's a huge thing.
He's gonna be a married man.
I
soon.
did have the leftover meatballs that were in the fridge.
Dude, you see, he said, he did this
The
right before he
Italian.
said meatballs, dude. He said, all right, hey, listen, right over here.
Yeah.
I saw the hand, dude. I saw the hand.
Love that lady.
Shout out to my fiance
Where the
Nanette, too,
gabagoo at?
Yeah, right,
for letting us practice
Oh yeah,
at my house
yeah.
and not murdering all of us.
Oh, dude,
Thank you very much.
I can imagine. I'm just, I think back of all the places that we practiced and all the moms and all the girlfriends and you know what I mean. They're just fucking pulling their hair out. You come upstairs and they're gone. They were just there
I'm
for
gonna go
like
take a shower.
Yeah,
Like,
they're just gone. Yeah.
sorry.
No, Nan sits through it. Her and Rosie will be sitting there watching television. I'm like, how?
Right.
It's so loud, and and I was like, "Wow, what'd you think of this part?" She's like, I was watching Gilmore Girls. I don't know.
Isn't it cool though if they when they do feel it though, you know what I mean? And those earworms that you stumble into. I mean, every band stumbles into that earworm where you're just playing it and playing it and playing it, and you leave and it's still in your head. But it's even cooler when you do it. And you walk away and they go, "Hey, what was that thing you guys were doing?" And you're like, "What?" And then they go, "No, no, 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 no." And you're like, "Oh yeah, what do you think of that?" And they're like, I can't get it out of my head. You know, they're like,
Yeah,
that speaks volumes, dude.
I missed a note. That's what that was.
No, I let her lead sometimes. Like "Stabbed" was her favorite song early last year. So then I was like, "Oh, we need to put that in the set a lot more," because any feedback that we get from friends or family, I use.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Sometimes you can hear him from the stage. That's
Yes.
insane.
Like, you know, like when you play a show and like you go through the gig and you're like, you know, it wasn't your best, you know, effort, you know, and then there was like, awesome show, man. It was like, I didn't do my best show. It was like, I didn't even notice, you know.
Yeah,
That's
it's
I
a,
think
it's a
every
really
every
awesome
musician,
feeling. But yeah, I'm sure we're all a little
everyone,
critical of
every
ourselves.
every musician can relate to that. I think so.
Yeah.
But for my creative input is more like try not to force things too much, you know. If like an idea is not there, I'll come back to it later. But like, you know, in my life, I try to have a routine, you know. It's basically work and then whatever, you know, I want to do, whether it's like hang out with the guys or if I want to pick up the guitar and just doodle around until something comes up, you know, and then try to record it on my phone and present to the band later if there's an idea there.
Yeah.
Like make sure you do your hobbies too. Like besides music, you know, everyone has different like hobbies they like to do.
For
you know?
sure.
So
Yep.
I think like stay in the routine of your life.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know. And not like think about too much about tomorrow and just worry about the present and just live in the moment and,
Yeah.
and like because things will come together. It's, you know, some things are meant to be, some things are not, you know.
Right.
You just gotta, you know, roll the cards you deal with and just
Yeah.
deal with them one at a time,
Yeah,
one day
for
at
sure.
a time, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I did want to say that Sam and I connected, 5, 6, 7 years ago on the topic of losing our family and stuff, and that's what E-Song is about, actually. And one of the lines is about how your friends and family are never gone. If they pass away, they'll
Right.
always be a part of you.
Right.
And that's how they live on.
Yeah.
100%, man.
Were you finished on that?
I think so.
For me, it's what inspires me are my favorite artists, which is Fragged Out, and Fragged Out.
There you go.
Hey, perfect, man.
Yes.
Dylan.
Dialogue.
That's
Shout out to
exactly
Fragged
where my
Out.
head went. Yeah.
No,
Turn my headphones up. Turn my shits up.
it's for me, it's just listening to music. You know, I love Jeremy Bolm from Touche Amore speaks the truth a lot, and that inspires me. And Kurt Cobain, obviously, I try to channel a lot of that. He put a lot of emotion into it, and I know Steve on the chat is cringing right now because of that. He's like, "No, channel Phil." It's like, but for all of us, it's a very democratic process in this band.
Yeah.
We all take criticism very well. You know, Sam will tell me something with the vocals, and I'm like, yeah, we'll give it a shot, and vice versa on every instrument. And I think we get along very well on that. And for Sam and I and Eric and now Keith, I think we're all friends first.
Yeah.
And if this band wasn't here, I would still be there for you.
Right.
And,
100%.
we just like to just freestyle. A lot of our songs come out of just jamming. You know, don't even have stuff brought to the table, and we'll just come up with
Got to
stuff.
record it on your phone too. So
Well, you know, I think a lot of people get caught into it. And yes, recording is a fantastic tool, and you should always record whatever you're doing. You know what I'm saying? But I can remember, again, I've said it a million times on this show, and I'll say it a million more. When you're jamming with someone in the room and there's noodling going on every angle, you know what I mean? You know, somebody's doing something, you know, they're fucking around. And all of a sudden, somebody hits one thing, and you just see, what was that? What was that right there? What was that?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, everybody slowly turns to it, right? And then the riff plays for a little bit. You play it for a little bit more, and you play it for a little bit more, and then all of a sudden, it organically goes into something else. That's the shit that I loved playing. It wasn't, hey, dude, I got this fucking riff on my phone. Let's play this over and over again. You know what I mean? That type of thing. Yeah, it can start like that, but the jamming inspiration, you know, the improvisation of it all, you know what I mean? That's the coolest part. That's where you know that if you're feeling it and it just caught you like that, you're going to be able to look out there and they're going to go, fuck yeah, you know what I mean? I love that feeling.
It's a contagious air. for
Hell
sure.
yes, dude. Hell yeah.
in this band, any idea you think is a bad idea is not a bad idea. So
I can really hear it in your music, man. I think that it's very there's a lot of emotion in that music, man. It drives. You know what I'm saying? Like when I turned it on, I was like, oh hell yeah, that's the shit I grew up on, man. It's got hardcore, it's got punk influence, and now that you say the jazz stuff, the drums make a lot more sense to me in the context. I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. The punk makes sense. All of it makes sense, man. Yeah.
One of the compliments we get a lot is that bands that people watch, it's like one long song. And
Yeah.
for us, it's like you can really tell that we're just all over the place.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to like lock us down as a hardcore band or post-hardcore band because we try to just do whatever we want to do.
Yeah. It's got a good feeling to it. You can tell that you're using your feels. You're not just piecing it all together. You know what I mean? That's huge, man. People will pick up on that shit. I know I did. That's for sure. Right off the bat, man.
Thank you.
What keeps you in your band? What keeps you in the band? What keeps? I mean, obviously, you guys talked about camaraderie and
Honestly, playing on stage for one is one of the most fun things to do. Period.
live show
Facts.
aspect, yeah.
I don't even know how to describe it.
yeah,
I don't care what show we're playing. When we plug in, if I hear the kick drum getting mic'd up, I know it's going to be at least a pretty decent show.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I love feeling the air behind me
Mhm.
when we're playing loud. Like that last Clash show was fucking loud. And like that, it just felt. I know it was part 2, but I felt like we went harder on that set. And anyway, when you're feeling it, and it's just, I guess it's hard to describe, but yeah, that initially, I mean, I've known Eric a little bit longer than them. Long story short, I reached out to him about the band. I was like, holy shit, I didn't know it was him. I thought it was just the band page, but
Yeah.
no, it's
Yeah,
this guy.
Keith came in like sometime after Rage came out.
Okay.
So
But yeah, initially it was just like I just wanted to have fun playing shows, but
Right.
then after like spending time with you guys like intimately
intimately in the womb,
spending time with you guys
in the womb.
in the womb, just jamming out some riffs and
Dude, that was a
seeing it-
straight organic feeling right there,
Hey,
dude. He was
yeah.
like in the womb. Like that was fucking, dude. He was feeling that shit. Did you guys feel that?
I
I
don't know.
did. I
Yeah, I
felt
didn't know
it
if I didn't know if he was doing Hulk Hogan too. So.
That's Ric Flair, dude.
Oh yeah,
And he's Randy Savage.
that's right.
That
That's what we
was
was for
Halloween.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, after like playing shows and stuff, like don't get me wrong, like it's fun playing the shows, but like meeting the guys and becoming friends with the guys and becoming brothers with the guys, and after a while, it's not just like just playing shows. It's like this is kind of part of what we do now.
Yeah.
Like it's a fun experience, and I'm glad to be able to like share it with these guys.
Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome, man.
It's the shit. Like I don't know how else to describe
It's
it.
a fantastic realization of being in something very awesome.
Very intimate.
That's cool.
I'm trying to chase that feeling from like the old Chariot shows and Every Time I Die, where it was just chaos. That's really, really what I want. So if people are listening that are coming to our shows, get on stage with me, jump off stage, let's go nuts.
Yeah, let Eric take a break from jumping off stage.
Yeah, tell them what you do during Scream.
Well, I'm gonna stage dive regardless.
Yeah.
And if I get caught, cool. If not, I'm gonna get back up and going. So
It's not just a stage dive. He does a flip too.
That's awesome.
I've landed it a handful of times.
But what's the catch rate?
It's
What's
not,
the statistics?
It's not good.
What's the catch rate? Shit, here he comes. Ah!
Like we've got local celebs at the shows that everybody knows. Like everyone knows Mosher Dan,
Yep, yep.
Thrasher Dan.
Yeah.
I somersaulted into him and I almost landed it, but I caught him, and then he was like, "Oh, damn it! I knew you were gonna do that. I'm so sorry. I screwed it up, And yeah,
Washer Dad just wants to have a fun time, dude.
Yeah, shout out to him.
and Minneapolis Pro, James
yeah.
Joseph, Alex Kameen,
They're at a lot of our
Sabrina.
shows.
Sabrina Rose.
Greg Moog,
Yep.
all the boys, and all these other bands. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. That's fantastic. I love to hear Dan get shout out too, man, because those guys. It's funny. You'll see him at 3-4 different shows a night. You know what I mean? Him and Alex will go from show to show to show.
You know what's funny? I was at my Amazon job today. I actually saw him in downtown. I tried to yell him, Alex, because he wears the vest, you know. And 9 messages later, it's like, yo, I saw you downtown. It was like, oh, that was you. That was trying to yell my name. I was like, yeah. Why didn't you turn around?
That's funny. That's funny. Because everybody does it.
Right.
He's probably didn't even phase him, dude. You know what I
Right.
mean?
You just probably just focus, listen to his music, and
Hell
just
yeah.
walking down the street.
yeah.
So.
Got me in the eye at the last show.
Oh, did he really?
You how can people get? They can listen to all your stuff on all the streaming sites right now.
Yep, we're out on every streaming platform. Even what's the other one? Spotify, YouTube,
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp,
Apple Music.
Come out to the shows. We got physicals.
What'd you say? You're giving physicals, dude?
Oh yeah.
Turn your head and cough.
I got gloves from my work.
Yeah. All right, this one's you're gonna feel a little pressure. Why are both your hands on my shoulders? No, that's awesome, dude. And they can reach you on Facebook, Instagram, things like that for booking and everything like that.
Mostly those platforms, yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
we've got a website as well, Fragged Out Minneapolis, and then the main I'd go email or on social media. Yeah,
What's your main email?
it's fraggedoutminneapolis@gmail.com.
Killer.
MPLS.
And they can contact you there. They can get you on all the socials, and they can listen to all the tunes that we listened to so far. And then the final one here is the title track from your Burn EP. What do you guys want to tell me about that one? We burning this motherfucker down or what?
Always, every single time we play it, man. I mean, it's your least favorite. I know that, but in my opinion, it's your most powerful song. The instrumentation just came upon of us just kind of like we've talked about, just doodling around in the basement and just writing, coming up with stuff. And I was thinking of the song. I'm like, I'm feeling like this burning sensation inside my body. I kind of want it to be where it's like a halftime feel. Everyone's kind of grooving, and all of a sudden it completely switches into something fast. And they're like, "Oh, whoa! What are we gonna do? We gotta get in the pit. We gotta go crazy for this part." So that's kind of like my internal thinking of writing the drum parts for the song.
Yeah.
I think it's any side of the aisle that you're on politically or any stances. You can. I think we can all agree shit's pretty fucked up right now.
Yeah.
100%.
So that would be the title of the song right there.
Yeah.
And listening back to the entire thing, I was doing a lyric walkthrough on Facebook, and I was like, wow, this is kind of a concept record, and I didn't even realize it when I was writing it. So
That's a trip when you go back and you're realizing what you're writing. I've done that so many times. I've gone back to shit that I wrote years ago and like, how the fuck did I come up with this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've heard so many like big musicians say a lot of times when they're writing, maybe they're phased out on something, they're on drugs or whatever. They say that they're just really tapping into the ether and just pulling something out and running with it, and it just becomes something. Like they mold it into something. You know what I mean? Like, if you're following what I'm saying, a lot of times musicians will refer to it as pulling it out of the ether, like they're just in the flow state and it just came in. They don't know where it came from. There's so many times that I've been like, oh, I'll write that down, and fucking pieces of pieces, and then you're like, oh, that will work with this, and all of a sudden you look at the whole thing and you go, whoa, that's pretty crazy. I didn't realize I was, painting a big picture here.
yeah, there's lyric callbacks in it too. Like you stabbed my back and walked away. Now I'm done. And then stabbed in the back was a couple tracks before that. And then obviously I'm rocking the anarchy symbol in our logo. So burn it down, baby.
Yeah, what Eric was saying earlier about we just freestyle, and then look what you hear from Burn with the guitar riff. It started with that, and then we built a song from that.
Nice.
It was one of those things that just came naturally.
It just
together.
kept flowing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Like
one of
this
the coolest
EP,
things.
like this, funny story. Like this EP is really supposed to have 3 songs, but like New Dark Ages and Salsa on the record.
Yeah.
I think we put that together like 2 weeks before Sam was starting tracking drums.
It just came so quick.
Yeah,
I think it was just
mean,
salsa.
like because Salsa, because Keith brought the riff to New Dark Ages, and then we were just those 2 songs. The problem is like getting to the finishing line, you know. So and those 2 weeks leading up before Sam started tracking, it was like things were starting to get together. But there's like that final week where I would go to Sampa's place and like I have like the semi-hollow not plugged in, and then he would just play on his electric kit.
Yeah.
And we were beating the shit out of all those like last 3 days,
Yeah, my neighbors were really annoyed, so shout out to my neighbors.
Also, rest in peace to all the symbols that
Yeah.
have bit the dust.
Yeah,
Killing 'em, huh?
I perform with emotion.
Yeah.
Some drummers don't like to do that, where they just have no emotion and just keep a straight face. And I'm not against that at any time, but just for me as a performer, I've been through a lot in my life, and the way I perform is I'm getting all that stress out. I'm getting all of that, all that internal.
You're purging, bro.
Exactly. I'm purging. I'm just letting it loose, and I'm letting people know. There's better ways to let your feelings out than violence. Go on an instrument, go perform in front of people,
Be creative.
Be creative.
Yeah. I said this a bunch of times, and I've heard it from a ton of different musicians and people that are creative, that it's important to just do something daily, whether they're not all going to be good. It's not all going to be good, but the fact that you're flexing those muscles on the daily to create something, whether it's a piece of art, whether it's, a rhyme, it's a poem, it's, anything, a fucking airplane, for God's sakes, creating something that came from you and that you worked hard to, you know what I mean? Like you worked enough to do it. Like the people that go to the gym all the time. I can't be one of those people, but they always say, slowly you work yourself into it. It becomes a fucking, a ritual, something
Routine.
that you do all the time. You keep doing it. It's a constant thing, all of a sudden it's not, you're not going, fuck, I don't want to do that today,
Yeah.
You just got to keep going. And again, you don't want to force it either. You want to keep your life together and do what you do normally. Or I think that if you do try to force it, you end up fucking things up, or you fall. So many musicians fall into that pitfall as well. Like they think they have to, be the best. You know what I mean? Like just create it, let it go, man. You're gonna fail.
Yeah.
I think you learn more if you fail. But that's the key. You got to learn from
That's
it.
the
And move
learning
on.
curve. Right
Fuck
there,
yeah, dude, for sure.
Yeah, I must say, it's my least favorite because I didn't give myself a lot of pockets
Yeah.
for breathing and stuff. So when we perform it live, like especially when we first started, like
Seeing
muscle memory
spots and
kicks
shit.
in, but yeah, my voice would cut out about halfway through. So that's why. But yeah, this EP is a lot angrier than the first one. I think the first had a lot of hope in it. Like E-Song was about our our loved ones that aren't here anymore.
Yeah.
And we had songs that were more, positive and hardcore. This is definitely more keep hardcore negative. So.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I mean, with everything going on in society right now, you may have a whole lot more vibrations coming through in that vein. You know what I mean? There's just so much to speak about these days, man. When it comes to that shit, you can be true and be, emotional on all of them different levels, man. Nowadays, it's
Like people who are listening to the podcast right now, it's either any age you are, just don't be one of those people just sit in the back. If you're feeling that emotion inside you and you just want to let it out, go in the pit and just go express yourself. Not through violence of going and punching somebody aimlessly, but going into the pit and just going and just, expressing yourself through that way.
Yeah. Or letting it out that way too.
Crowd
Well,
killing.
I mean, letting it out in general. Like that's the thing, man. Like even you don't even have to be in the pit. You can be on the edge of the pit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because if you're not used to throwing down like that, I mean, just being there, feeling that energy, and them pushing against you and you pushing against them. Not even full extensions, but that vibe and that feeling, man, that's cleansing, man. It's so cleansing. And it is dangerous. That's what makes it that much more fun, man. You know what I mean? I love seeing little kid pits too, where they don't know exactly that they can totally hurt each other. You know what I mean? They're just going in a circle and everybody's happy and they're just, that's great. That the last nuisance show that they had at by the Thousands and Evernorth and all them cats had at the Myth. That's all them guys were saying. Come on, you kids, start a pit. You know what I mean? It was funny being a father, right, and seeing all these little kids, right. I've played an all-age show with all those kids, and it is so hard not to say fuck or, you know what I mean, or hey, you motherfucker, get up here, that type of thing. You know what I mean? And every one of them.
They know.
When I'm watching the bands, and I'm just going, oh, like that, and I'm looking at my wife, and she's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I go, I can tell that they are having a hard time not swearing right now because I would totally been that guy, just cussing up a storm with these little kids that you don't even know. You know what I mean? You're just torturing these little kids. They're, hey, Mom, what was asshole? You know what I mean?
That's fucking.
No, I definitely altered my lyrics at a couple of the all ages venues.
Right.
Yeah, the kids
radio
that
edit.
are moshing to make it so much better, But like there was a hardcore festival, Snow and Flurry, like 2 years ago. Me and Sam went. We see like a bunch of
The ninjas?
pit
ninjas?
Yeah, all of them are ninjas basically.
Oh, dude,
So
that's so scary.
I'm like, man, I wish I was that athletic. Yeah. I could be a human drone if I had that electric.
Dude, that's insane.
But like they had a group of friends and they were got one of their friends. They were all holding up to him, in the air, and they were just like to the crowds that were sitting outside, just threw them like right in the crowd.
No thanks. I'm good, man. I'm good. Well, thank you, boys, for showing up. Thank you for doing the show. I appreciate it, man. You guys are onto something really cool, man. I really do enjoy your music. It's good shit. So
Thanks.
thank
Thank
you.
Thanks for having
Keep
us.
creating that, and anytime you guys are ready to release again, man, let me know. We'll get you back on the show and talk some shit. And if you guys got shows coming up, make sure you keep me in the loop. I always fly. I always post shit on Facebook and Instagram and shit. So
Yeah, you definitely pushed our 12-12 show, so thank you.
yeah,
Yeah,
no
thank
problem,
you,
man. No problem. It's one of those things that I do this shit because I've been here. You know what I mean? And I've had cool people give me opportunities. I've had cool people just give me time to shine at any time, and that's what I'm trying to do for people is give them an opportunity and a platform to just come and tell their story and. Try to inspire other people, try to inspire people with the music that you're listening to, how you got on that path. Maybe they're missing a band and they hear one band that you name and they could come and go, dude, I watched this stupid podcast. You guys said this badass band and now it changed my shit. And this is, and they hand you a fucking CD of the shit that, that they
That's how it
created.
starts,
Yeah, that's
man.
what I'm saying, dude. It's awesome. The inspiration is all the way around, dude. So I appreciate that.
Also, I wanted to say what an honor it is to get on episode 333.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 333.
I really didn't go too much into that whole thing, and I really wanted to in the very beginning. Brian Otteson and Chad Hanks were guys that I kind of came up with in the music scene. Brian was in Black Flood Diesel when I first met him. I knew him around the scene, and Brian was he was really good friends with one of my roommates, and so he was at my house quite a bit. We were always really chummy and friendly with each other. There was no ill will towards Brian at all, and I started seeing that 333 around quite a bit, you know. And my roommate, I actually reached out to her this week to kind of ask some of the backstory of the 333. And she was real funny about it. She goes, "That little shit, man, he wouldn't tell you exactly what it meant." And I was like, "Well, did you know him to be a religious guy? I know it's an angelic number. It means that there's spirits watching out for you, that type of thing, that, you know, people of your past or whatever are watching out for you when you see it, or those are angelic numbers. That's what those mean. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but, and she said, no, I don't think he ever was a very religious person. Well, then I asked, his ex-girlfriend, Shayla, and she said, you know, he would say things about it, but he never really told anybody exactly what it meant to him. You know what I mean? So I asked Justin Fowler, and I worked for Justin Fowler, which is a keyboard player for American Head Charge, one of them anyways. And I worked with him for the last couple months, and you know, with the Cameron White Underbelly video that came out, you know, I wanted to ask him about it, and I never got, you know, like, how do you ask your friend about someone who's very important to them, who's going through a really hard time, how they feel about it? You know what I mean? So I didn't ask him, and eventually it just kind of came up, you know, and he expressed how he felt about it, and, you know, he's moving forward with his musical stuff, which I admire, because it took him a long time to be able to do that. You know what I mean? And how do you move on from a band like that was, you know, a mainstay, a huge staple of this music scene? With the 333, after Brian passed away, I started to see it a lot more. And, you know, when you buy a red car, or you buy a Kia, or you buy a car, Buick, whatever you drive, you start to notice those cars all around all the time. So I always thought, well, maybe it's just because my friends always saw that number. You know, guys like Greg Moog got it tattooed on his hand, you know, because he was real close with Brian and Chad and all them guys. And so every time I see 333, and today I actually saw it, and I wasn't going to really make a big deal out of it, but today I actually saw that number. And earlier this week, I talked to his ex-girlfriend and my roommate, and a little bit to Justin. And Justin didn't allude to anything. He actually didn't say anything about it. And I understand why, kind of. You know, I mean, that's got to be a very touchy thing to have to explain that about your ex-bandmates. That, you know, with the Cameron video, he said things that they never said to any of us. You know, about the jar of pills that were in the bus that he just had laying around, and that he may have indulged more than he even, you know. Chad, when we did a podcast with Chad before he passed away, he talked about that, and he said that he took something. He was on medication for his throat. They went to the bar. They were trying to make last call. They came back. There's a whole big story to it. And, you know, the 333 pops up to me all the time, and I see it, and I think that my friends are saying hello. And I think that they're guiding me to do this, to help other bands, to be part of it, because Chad Hanks was one of those people, and everybody in that band said that he was the driving force of that band. He found each one of those members, and he found what the best part of them, and he made that best part of them shine into that band, and that's why that band was the way it was. From the singer to the keyboard players to all of those, Chad was the guy that saw the best parts of you in that band, right?
Yeah.
So that 333 symbolizes a whole lot to me, not just from the music scene, from friends that I've lost, from angelic numbers that mean they're watching over me. I truly believe that. I think that it's fucking amazing, and I think I'm blessed to be able to see those numbers. I'm blessed to be a part of all of that history. I'm blessed. So this 333 means a whole lot to me, and it's really cool that you guys are a part of it. You know what I mean? It's something that's super important to me, and hopefully I can run down and give Fowler and Moog a hug tomorrow. They're going to be on The Root of All Evil. If you guys don't know that, Root of All Evil tomorrow night at 1 a.m. They're doing a new metal shindig, and they're going to be playing a bunch of new metal stuff from that time frame here in the Twin Cities. So I wanted to go down there and just give them a hug and tell them I love them, because it's such a big thing. And you know, this episode, and you know, seeing the numbers and just being, you know what I mean? It's kind of one of them things that if I don't go down and give them a hug and acknowledge that all those numbers happened on this weekend for some fucking reason, dude, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I let my friends down. So thanks for being a part of it. I appreciate it,
No, it's a
dude.
beautiful thing.
As much, man.
It's a beautiful show.
I really
It's
appreciate
awesome.
it, man. Thanks for coming to the show and doing it.
Thank
We're
you.
gonna come out and burn this motherfucker to the ground right here.
Yes.
So if you're able to move your couch to the one side and your coffee table to the other side, start a fire in the middle. No, don't do that.
Or just do a bonfire.
Do yeah. Go outside, start a fire. No. Do a pit. Start a fucking mosh pit in your living room and run around. And we appreciate you joining the podcast and being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe on all the socials and everything. Follow these guys on all their socials and go to their shows. Support them. Buy a physical copy. Actually be out there and support bands. Get some merch from these boys. You can reach them on all the socials and make sure you listen to their new stuff that just came out. And they're writing some more stuff, so they got all kinds of good shit coming out. So thank you again. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you. Thank you.
Have a fantastic evening. Have a fantastic weekend, y'all. We will see you next week. Who do I have on here? I think it's Damonot, I think, is rescheduled. So join us next Friday. We'll see you next Friday. Thank you for joining us. Peace out, y'all.
Cut you out the picture, smash the frame, burst your bubble when we're all to blame. Tear the picture, smash the frame. Told you before, man, we're all to blame. Tear the picture, smash the frame, burst your bubble, we're all to blame. Tear the picture, smash the frame. Told you before, man, we're all to blame. Said to me, it's what it is. And if you think the song's about you, then it's probably cause the motherfucker is. It's called life. Instead of being the thing you wanna be, you're bitter trying to fuck with me again. In this life, instead of being the thing you wanna be, you're bitter trying to fuck with me again. It's what it is. And if you think the song's about you, then it's probably cause the motherfucker is. Everything in apathy, this ain't what it's supposed to be. You're just rooting everything, destruction follows everything you did. Everything in apathy, this ain't what it's supposed to be. You're just rooting everything, destruction follows everything you see. Break the mirror, smash the frame. Told you before, man, we're all to blame. Break the mirror, smash the frame. I told you before, man, we're all to blame. Break the mirror, smash the frame. Told you before, man, we're all to blame. Break the mirror, smash the frame. Told you before, man, we're all to blame. Can we do the things we did? Now you stabbed my back and walked away. Now I'm done because of you. This is the end. Now I'll meet you there, and in the end we'll burn. I'll start feeling better. In the end you'll burn. I'm still feeling better. And in the end, you cannot judge me. And in the end, you won't affect me. In the end, you cannot judge me. In the end, you won't affect me. In the end, you cannot judge me. In the end, you won't affect me. In the end, you cannot judge me. In the end, you won't affect me. Now. is pain. What's some kinds of suffer? Think the fucking grave burn.
Ritual Madness Podcast. Ritual Madness Podcast. Ritual Madness Podcast. Ritual Madness.